Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome back to Tales of Agius. Wouldn't be a Tales of Agius stream without technical difficulties. Actually, to be fair, we've got a few without technical difficulties. So, not last session.
All right.
A certain bot wasn't in the chat.
You can't
It's there now. Don't worry about it.
It would have
Promise,
been there
Lister.
if I was here.
Speaking of last session and people not being here, we did not have the wonderful Jet with us last session, but they are back. So it's we're gonna go back a little bit and do a little bit of RP with Astra, give them some moments before we return to the current plot line, which I suppose is a good point to get into the recap of what happened last session, which was, in my notes was planned to be just a casual travel session with potentially a small encounter of some kind, depending on some rolls. And then someone rolled a natural one on their survival. And then one thing led to another, and about 7 or 8 collectively failed intelligence saving throws led to an encounter with a mind flare. So that was fun. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, last session, Tales of Agius. The party woke in Amber Crest, the small town that they have settled in for the past couple of days as they collect themselves and have made new allies as a group, deciding to travel together onto the next location they are heading to, which is Mystral City. In the morning, Veldren spoke with the wonderful residents of the my brain is braining of the farm. I forgot the word for farm for some reason. Of the farm within the town, speaking with Fern and Frankie, both afflicted by the curse of lycanthropy, saying that there might be a way to rectify that and use a remove curse spell scroll on one of them. The two argued back and forth as to who should get it, and as that kind of argument was happening, Veldren had an idea about how he might be able to save both of them with a little help from Sybil. The plan was put into effect, and Sybil read the spell scroll using her special abilities to twin the spell and use remove curse on both, which did work successfully. Even though it was a higher level spell, higher circle spell even than Sybil knew, they were able to not only cast the spell correctly, but were able to split it into two and have it work collectively on both of them, allowing Fern to return to her home finally and stay with her family, and also freed Frankie from his affliction. So, after that, the group headed off, finally leaving Amber Crest behind, and headed off into the hills, making their way towards the main road that would then eventually lead to Mystral City along the coastline. On their travels, they did in fact get turned around, unfortunately, due to potentially some bad directions from Aridia, leading them up a hill, and as they reached the top of the hill, they saw their worst fear, which was a crashed ancient Nautiloid ship back from when the invasion happened almost 200 years ago. Of course, the group wanted to avoid it, as it would not be the best idea to go near it, apart from Bishop. But eventually the group decided that it would be best not to go close to this ship. However, they decided that it would be good to camp instead of trying to travel through the night. So camp was set up, rests were taken, and some conversations were had between Veldren and Sybil about Sybil's bracelets and the effects that they have. Veldren learning a bit more about these bracelets and how they work, finding out that they have the ability to draw and store magical energy. Needing somewhat of an incantation to remove them as they were magically applied. Unfortunately, not knowing what the incantation is. Based on the examination, he also realized that the only person that would truly be able to remove these without the incantation would be someone that was both a master blacksmith and also a master of the arcana. Many refer to them as artificers. So the quest is on to find one. But at that moment, Sybil began to hear a familiar voice in their mind. The voice of their mother calling to them, needing help, coming from the direction of the ship. Unaware that she was being affected by a twisting of the mind, she took off up the hill, Veldren quickly in pursuit, trying to wake the others, several of which were also affected by this same failed saving throw. Aridia and Bishop also taking off, respectively, thinking their other sibling was in danger and needing help. Unaware that the other one was trying to help them. Along the way, Aridia did manage to break free of this trick of the mind. However, Bishop and Sybil were not able to and made their way all the way down to the ship and went inside to find the person they were looking for to help, and they were able to lift a fallen beam off of them. Those who were seeing what was really there, to their horror, saw a mind flayer that had been trapped and must have been trapped here for at least almost 200 years at this point, since this ship would have crashed during the invasion. An encounter then broke out where the party was facing off against this mind flayer, and they were successful, not without taking some heavy blows. Sybil almost being lost to the party after a powerful blow, a powerful mind spike from the mind flayer itself, before Aridia was able to strike true and put the thing down for good. Upon further exploration of the ship, Veldren found some containers that may have previously contained thralls or people to be turned into mind flayers, but they were all empty. Aside from one specialized container that contained the lanky yet muscular form of a green-skinned elf of some kind. With some time, they were able to figure out how this alien ship worked. And with a little help from Sybil, was able to read the console. Two buttons becoming very notable, one reading erase and one reading erase, one reading release. On pressing the release button, the container drained, and the figure inside awoke and jumped free of this container, looking around at the group of you, speaking in an alien language none of you understood, but upon realizing that you spoke common, quickly switched. They announced themselves as Xidas, the cavalry captain of the 3rd Legion of the Githyanki, which probably means very little to some of you, or to most of you, I guess. But they had very notably asked you all where they were, and not what continent this was, but what planet. Making you all realize that perhaps there was a wider scope to this story. But now we return as we leave that moment for a second, as we turn to Astra, who was making their way back to find our two friends that had been left at camp, perhaps being a little slow to respond, quite know what happened to them, as we're retconning a little bit, because a lot of last session was on the spot stuff. So Astra is currently on their way back to camp to collect the rest of their things and to let their companions know what had happened. But Astra, as you're walking back, you kind of think back for a moment to perhaps a conversation that happened earlier that day with Bishop. So, yeah, the two of you are back in Ambercrest. You remember this conversation happening. How did that conversation go? I hand it over to the two of you. Y'all thought we were getting rid of the barn? Wrong. The barn returns.
I like my barn.
The bane. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like
down.
quickly think about what happened that one session because I was a month ago. Okay. Yes.
It's a while ago now, yeah.
You had I know you had the Star Dream.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
before that was the werewolf debacle.
The werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you saw Aridia and Bishop go off and have a heated conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Then Bishop slept leaning against a tree.
And Astra went in the house. Yeah.
Went in the house. Got some eat.
So in the morning, Astra would have approached Bishop at the tree.
I'm sorry, I'm dying.
Do that.
I'm becoming like Bishop.
No.
Okay, yeah, Bishop would still be by the tree. It was a wonky night.
I am. This is in Celestial, by the way. All our conversations are in Celestial. I love it.
All of our private conversations.
Cute. Love it.
I feel like I should have spoken to you last night, but if I had, I would have told you to be safe, and we all know what happened last time.
Well, good morning to you too. You know, like
But-
stand up and go to lean against the tree instead of sitting.
You're in one piece today.
Shocking, isn't it? How'd you sleep?
A weird dream.
Weird good, weird bad, or just weird weird? I know the night before you had a pretty crazy one.
Not like that. This one was just strange. Like it was peaceful, but like
Okay.
but I slept all right.
Well, that's good.
How was your night?
Oh, uneventful. Yeah. Keeping an eye out. Nothing really happened. I figured reuniting family could keep the barn.
I'm glad that last night was uneventful for you then, because
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of have not the best track record with nighttime stuff. I mean, you with dreams, me with getting shot.
It's just like face palms. Just
Um, I will say it was I still think the biggest shock from yesterday was a fallen star.
oh, it's just a title.
I mean, it's. I mean, I think it suits you. And then switching to infertile, judging by your eyes, it definitely does. Back to celestial. So why hide it exactly? I mean, I understand why, but like, you hid it for a while, but you just. I don't know, you just dropped it so casually.
I'm just I'm trying to get away from all that, and I know that titles have power, and I was like, oh, if I drop this, they'll listen to me, and they did, and I don't know, I still feel icky.
I mean,
I didn't like that.
which is understandable. I mean, knowing you, I know you don't like to make people do things they don't want to do. But in this case, I feel like it was more like using a tool to help those that were in need. I mean, thanks to you, we got Ezra out. You and Sybil.
I guess. I'm glad they're safe.
Let's think of it like that. Something good your title brought out. Miss Fallen Star, and he'll give a very exaggerated bow.
Her reaction, the exact same as mine. She kind of like turns her head and laughs. Don't.
Yeah. You feel better about it?
It's just I'm trying to get away, and using the title, it made me feel like I was still right back there at the gate, you know?
Yeah. I get it. Well, how's this? Instead of title, I'll do some thinking. I'll get you a little nickname you can use instead. Hmm.
Never had a nickname.
Hmm. Hmm. You know, I back when I was alive, I did a lot of reading and research. Have you ever heard of a thing called a supernova?
I do know the stars.
Well, look at you. Just a walking, talking supernova.
She blushes.
All right. Well, we should go get the others, and he's gonna just like place a hand on the side of your face, if you will let him just be like, if I may. Right.
You sure?
Just like cup of cheek and just like press his forehead to yours. You're doing great. Even if you don't believe in you, just know that I do. You gotta tousle your hair. All right.
Thanks,
Alright.
Bishop.
Anytime. I walk
Okay.
away.
I think, yeah, Astra, as you're probably thinking quite fondly back on that moment of Bishop kind of holding your face like that. You're not really paying attention kind of as you're walking, and you just hear a familiar voice. Astra? Astra, hello? Earth to Thrall? As you see Cell is kind of standing in front of you, kind of hand, like, almost like she's ready to, like, just kind of, like, watching. Like, she didn't look like she's gonna blast you, but, like, she could. She's, like, standing defensively. All still there, are we?
Yes.
Make a roll for her real quick. Kind of looks you up and down. Satisfied. And she'll kind of snap her fingers and the magic will go away from her hand. You see Ezra kind of like peeks out from behind her. It's like, what happened to the others? Where are they? Are they still down at the ship?
Astra and Bishop, right? It's the two of us?
Yes. Yes, Bishop did go back with you. Yes, correct. Yes, it's the two of you currently. I thought it was just Astra for some reason.
Oh, both of us.
Yes.
No, because Astra had to, like, snap
Yes.
Bishop out of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cell was being sassy with Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
As she does.
Yeah, we found some alarming stuff on the ship.
Oh, fun. I do love alarming. That sounds intriguing. Much to learn, and, well, if we've already broken the law, what's wrong with breaking it more, you know? This seems broken now, the dam's, you know. Anyway, shall we? Should probably not leave our things here. I wasn't sure
Yes.
we should come with, but... gather our things then, and she'll start walking off, not picking up anything. She's got all of her own things on her, but she just starts sauntering down towards the ship. Ezra kind of like looks around. It's like,
You know what's up?
and we'll put out the fire
Wow.
and we'll start picking some things up.
So it never
Wow,
ceases to
thank
amaze me
you.
how helpful you are.
Thank you
I
so much for your
know.
help, Cell.
You're
I imagine they
so
both just say it at the same
welcome.
time.
It's just side eye each other.
Welcome. So just continues walking. But yeah, you're able to gather your things, and the four of you, kind of three of you, and then Cell slightly ahead, but you're able to kind of catch up. As she kind of waits,
I would like
kind of.
to note,
Yes.
Astra is carrying the lighter bags back, so like Veldren's bag, because he can't carry anything heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out here catching
Sybil-
strays. I'm not even there.
Probably like
You
Sybil's
deserve it.
bag too. Hopefully it's not that heavy. And leave Aridia's bag to
You don't want to
Picture.
carry my heavy ass bag? Nice
I was about to
Again?
say,
No.
Bishop is straggling, carrying her heavy shit.
Sybil had her bag on.
Ezra's.
Sybil's bag doesn't leave her side.
Oh, okay.
Bless
Bishop, you do have a moment when you're handed that bag and you're holding it. There is a moment where you kind of almost feel a level of satisfaction from her, as a certain item is currently in your possession now. as you're holding Aridia's bag.
Just
It's heavy, but
yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure.
mm-hmm.
I'm
But
probably
yeah,
struggling
there is definitely that kind of scent of satisfaction from her that you can feel. Not words as they have been before, but almost a feeling of good.
I think
Yes,
in
you
his
should
head,
keep a hold of this. I know you won't, but it's good to have
in his
it.
head, in Draconic, he's just like thinking.
Mhm.
As much
It's
as I,
not in the backpack though, B. We go over this every time.
Where is
it's on
it?
your
It's
person.
on already. It's
You're also
on a
not-
pouch on already.
I have a
You're
special
also not
spot with the bag on.
wearing
My guy,
your
it's
armor right now.
massive.
Oh, who's carrying Aridia's armor?
That's right, I don't have my armor on.
But why do you think I'm straggling behind?
Yeah, Bishop has just unwillingly become Aridia's squire right now. It's great.
He deserves
Mhm.
it.
You fucker.
Yeah, you guys are able to make your way back to the ship, kind of Stell kind of making her way ahead and then kind of like waiting as she kind of gets to like the entrance, not really knowing where to go when she goes inside, kind of waits for the group of you, and then you all head back in, you all sort of walk into the room as Sybil and Veldren seem to be looking over this console, and Veldren kind of presses a button, and then this thing drains, it opens up, and then this figure leaps out and kind of speaks in this alien language that none of you understand. Kind of looks around and kind of announces his title and stuff and kind of asks what planet this is. All of that happens, but yeah, you are now all in this moment as he's kind of made this declaration, as he kind of looks around at the group of you.
Oh, good
Just
to know
taking
people.
a moment.
Get up. As hard as I can, toss Aridia's shit into her. That's yours, you carry it.
You really need to work on your upper body strength.
You
Astra just
Start putting
Bell
my
stuff.
armor on.
need
You see, thank you, Astra. Thank you. So you're here on Aegis.
Aegis. Not familiar with that planet. What system is this?
5e?
What?
Is the only one?
I don't.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
what is a Nautiloid doing out here if you're not familiar with astral travel?
Well, they kind of used these to try to take over the world around 200 years ago. So the remnants are here and there.
How long has it been? You said 200 years?
The 100
Since the
199 to be perfectly exact.
I see. And the Beyond isn't actively invading, no?
Is it what?
who?
The Beyond.
Beyond
I'm a
what?
little lost. What do you mean?
Oh, you
The
really
tentacle
don't know
people?
anything.
Those were mine.
That's what we refer to it as. I see.
They're illithid and
Yes,
that's what we call
the mind flayers. Yes, the elder brains and
Oh.
the mind flayers. The armies. We call it the Beyond. The land that is lost to them. The systems that are lost to them.
I have to
But you
do it. I'm
say
so sorry.
this is still a planet of free will. You're not thralls.
About 199 years ago, according to my history textbooks, the goddess Mystra sacrificed herself and to destroy the elder brain, which then wiped out most of the mind flayers. And I don't know what that one was. I'm so
Right.
confused.
I see. Now things are starting to
What's
make a
mind
little more
flayer,
sense. Some common ground, perhaps. Mystra. You said she was here.
Yes, we also share the same language, which is very curious. Where did this tongue originate from for you?
Common. It's a language.
Yes.
It's one of the many languages. It's one of the main languages of all of the Astral Sea.
Yes, but we are. If I understand this correctly, we are in a system of multiple sentient life-bearing lands, correct?
Yes.
Veldren's minds.
You
So, how did we develop the same manner of speaking?
well, you're asking me some very interesting philosophical questions here, my friend. I don't know if I could fully. I mean,
Apologies.
common as its interesting name. It's not my first tongue. That would be Gith. But when I spoke that to the group of you, you did not seem to understand it. So, common seems to be is the most widely spoken language of the Astral Sea. So,
I mean, I believe it is called common for a reason.
yes.
Yes, but common does not mean all. Interesting. My own manner of thinking for later. Ignore me.
Forgive me. He kind of turns, probably kind of taking you all in, probably turns to Astra, kind of looks you up and down and goes, "Forgive me, my lady. Based upon your appearance, do you hold titles in these lands? Are you the ruler of this Aegis, or have status within it?" Sorry for the assumption. I probably should have asked sooner to know who I was speaking with.
She's like,
What does that have to say, buddy? What does he say? Do you?
kind of, not really. I
Kind of not.
just,
really.
well, mother is in charge of part of the gate, and I'm Fallen Star, and
I see.
it's
Is
my
the
title.
system a monarchy or some sort of council system or oligarchy or?
Meritocracy.
I see. So you are a what's the word? An heir to a position of power.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry for my my rudeness then, and he will take a knee and bow to you.
No. Just stand up. Thanks.
And he will stand again, truly showing you a deep level of respect as a leader. He seems to respect authority, which is why he asked. So this Aegis, it is under a bureaucracy, you said?
Well, Gloria
It
is.
depends on the continent.
Oh, I see. Yes, so it is not. It is a continental world. It is one that is not ruled by one force for all. I see. Understandable. How did I get here?
Well, you were. I'll point back to the. I'll point back to the little
Yes, it makes sense.
crystal
I was
container.
obviously captured. I lost my dragon.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, forgive me. My title that I read to you before: Cavalry Captain. We ride dragons.
Right.
Red dragons, to be specific.
Of course you do.
How did they're sentient creatures? How did you come to an agreement such as that?
That is a long story, my friend. I'm not sure we have time for that currently, but I will happily tell you at a later date, perhaps, when we have more time to speak further details. Is it... What part of the cycle are we in currently? Is it day, night? There's not really
Night.
windows in here.
It's early morning.
It's night, currently. It's like the middle of the night for you guys, currently.
Got it.
Oh, we should probably all get some rest.
If the stars are
it's
visible, I
been-
might be able to track them and perhaps figure out what system this is. It certainly is not one that is... well, space travel is not something that seems to be common to you, so perhaps it's...
Not
This
at
must
all.
be a far system, but this is... Why are mind flayers well beyond the beyond? What are they doing out here? What's special about this world?
Who could say?
Many
Just
questions.
walking away.
Well, thank you. Do you know if this ship is further occupied with other mind flayers? Have you explored fully? Do you know?
We have not explored fully. We will. I'm assuming that it wasn't more occupied as the mind flayer that was here, the illithid that was here, was trapped under beams. So I would have assumed that they would have used their abilities to help free the other one.
Perhaps. There may still be some lingering in wait. If they do not have the command of an elder brain, well, they tend to get a little lost. So, if you have not done a sweep, if you'll forgive me, kind of giving a nod, a kind of a respectful nod to you, Astra, I will do a sweep.
Of course.
Wonderful. I shall return shortly. And you see on his like wrists, he has these kind of like metal plated like gauntlets. He flicks them, and two energy swords kind of come out of them, kind of just pure like psionic energy in his hands. He goes, I will return shortly. And then he disappears. Just
I'll look to the others with the kind of.
Mhm.
Does looking at me really just like give that
Yes.
energy vibe really?
Astrid, you are
100%.
you're wearing a crown. You are wearing a tiara.
I'm not wearing it right
you
now.
are dressed as a princess, my
We're
guy.
running around
You are
in
wearing a ball gown. You look like a princess.
Also, you did give the most educated information right off the bat, which is typically a signal of high rank or wealth.
I don't like him.
Oh, curse that formal education.
Bishop, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you don't like most people upon first meeting. I'm noticing a pattern here.
I do not like
That's
him
not
either,
true.
though, so
I liked many people when I first met them. First liked you or Sybil when I first met you. I would say I didn't like this one when I first met her. Points to Aridia.
okay, you know what?
I'm joking.
And Bishop quite literally saved my life when I first met him.
I
He
like
has a
many
habit of
I
doing that.
don't mean it in any judging way. It's just something I've noticed in the past couple of days.
I like plenty of people.
Then I'm wrong.
Do you?
We should.
Do you?
We should. We should try to sleep.
Yes, that would be.
Preferable.
Yes. I can take I can take a part of a watch that would help you or get some sleep.
We're not gonna rest here, are we? In the ship?
No.
Okay. Kind of Ezra takes like a deep breath, like
It's right,
Well-
it's fine. We killed them and fair that was here.
Yeah, I would say that actually sleeping in here would probably be the best course of action.
Ezra
No.
immediately
If I
is
may,
like,
there are quite a few mechanisms here that we're not entirely sure how they work.
yes, and I
and we
would
don't know if they're, like,
love to
security
spend some
systems
time
or on.
learning about them. Zell is looking
No.
around the room like,
Mr.
well,
Boy,
if
hear
we've
me
got
out.
someone who seems a capable fighter doing a sweep, I'd love to have an explore myself. It'd be very
Yes,
interesting to
so
learn about such a alien place, far beyond
Yes.
our understanding.
yes, you can go get lost all you want. But
I don't need your permission, Bishop. She turns
Have
and just walks
fun.
away.
It is highly
I hope
illegal
you
for
lose
us
your way.
to be here.
yes, but what it would be just us hanging outside trespassing still get us since a little suspicious. But if we just hang out in here, no one has seen us come in, we can lie low, and we have some shelter from the elements. Like Stel said, we have a capable person doing a perimeter check. As weird as it might be, he's gonna look directly at Aridia in an Elvish, and trust me, I hate it. I actually think this might be the safest place for us to bed down for the night.
There are a number of systems here that we're not fully understanding of. I'll gesture to the console. I'm unsure if there are security systems, traps, and the like still upon board that would operate independently of the mind flayers. It would make sense for them to have some sort of security aboard.
Maybe, perhaps before bedding down, we can get a hold of our new compatriot. He seems to know a bit about this ship. Maybe we can do a double check and make sure that there's nothing like that.
How about we leave it to a vote? That way, the people that are the most
I vote
that
we
way
leave.
we can see who's.
Ezra just
comfortable with
immediately
everything.
hand up. He's like, I vote we leave.
So 1,
I-
2,
Do sleep better under the stars.
3. I'll look to Sybil.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Would you like to stay aboard the ship
No.
to sleep, or 4?
I don't think
think
Sel
we'll
should
make-
get a vote.
No,
No.
Cell is not here. She does not get a vote.
I agree. Yep. Mhm. Can we leave now, please? I think that's majority vote.
Yes. Yes, we can leave.
Yes.
Okay. This place give me the creeps.
As it should.
I will admit I'm quite curious, but I think we should rest before exercising any of that. I'll grab my things that Astra handed me,
I'll give.
start making for the door. Look towards Sybil just to make sure that she's all right, because she seems a bit out of it.
Yeah, I'll like offer my arm to Sybil.
She's not gonna take it. She'll just start walking
Sybil, you're
out.
still reeling. Your head hurts.
Yeah, she'll just walk out.
Is everyone else going, or is anyone
Mhm.
staying?
I'm gonna stay behind for like a good 5 minutes.
Okay.
I would shoot a message cantrip off to our. Give me a second. Some of my notes. Give me a second. Wait. I would shoot a message off to Xidas of like, if you begin looking for us, we are making camp outside of the ship.
message. What is the how does that work again? Remind me the specifics of it.
So the message cantrip, I point into a direction.
You don't
Let me
know
go to
what
my
direction
spells.
he went. He teleported.
Well, I saw where he went, and it can go around like
You
you can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. Magical silence, 1 foot of stone, metal, or wood, or a thin sheet of lead blocks the spell, so it probably doesn't go off.
No, afraid not. Also, I will argue that you don't know what direction he went because he like just disappeared in the air. You know what direction Cell went because you saw her leave.
Well, I could also. It's a cantrip, so I could go.
Yeah, but also, I will say that he's definitely out
Yeah,
of
no,
the range
it's
of
1
1 foot of any of those materials.
Yeah. No, 100. I was reading over that.
Yeah.
No.
If you had the sending spell,
I don't get 3rd level spells to like level 13 or whatever.
Third level
Feel like
spells? Who's those?
should have stayed in school, Veldren.
I'll fight you. you.
Anyways,
you
moving on.
know how mean that is.
Moving on.
Damn.
All right. Yeah, you guys head on out of the ship. Bishop, you're staying behind. Is anyone staying with Bishop, or is it just Bishop the lone person remaining?
Astra would go out and get her stuff ready, but if Bishop takes too long, we'll go back in. So
It's
better
just-
not take too long.
It's literally just staying in for 5 minutes, walking around and like taking in everything.
Yeah.
And kind of that like mesmerized but also fuming at the sight.
Yeah, Bishop. You've seen this before, but high in the sky, far above where it's out of reach. But you're in the belly of the beast right now.
It's
You always thought about what it would like to be on one of these ships. And now you're here again, you see the destroyed corpse of the Mind Flayer itself. Yeah. It's definitely an anger resonating. After a few minutes of waiting, you hear another kind of almost like flash in the air as kind of maybe like 10 feet away from you, Xidas reappears, both psionic blades in hand, a smattering of what looks like purple blood across his arm and face, kind of heavy breathing. Ship is
Are you
clear.
alright?
Yes, there were some remaining. Not active, but I dealt with them either way. Tried to deal with one of them, tried to destroy them, but apparently, when you try to destroy them, the rest of them activate, so I had to deal with them. Problem solved, though. Not an issue for me. He kind of like lets go of the psionic blades and they just disappear back into the
That's a good
gauntlets.
thing we had you around. Question for you. You seem to be knowledgeable on the subject. This one. I'm going to point to the brain puddle.
Yes.
This one was still alive, not in any capsule. But it's been nearly 200 years since they arrived here.
Mind Flayers live a long time. If it brings you any comfort, he will have been suffering that whole time.
Quite a good bit of comfort.
You seem to, I can tell from your body language, you have a distaste, at least, for Mind Flayers.
They burned my home to the ground and killed my family.
That is something that we can perhaps have a kinship over. As awful as that is, you lost everything. And I'm sorry. I too lost my home and many of my people to the beyond. The home world
I
of
am sorry
Gith
for your loss.
is long lost. beyond its borders. All gone. Either killed, destroyed, or worse, thralls to be used against us.
Not to
It's
sound
not.
like too much of a bleeding heart. I can at least hope that somewhere out there's a semblance of kinship for you waiting.
I hope
I
I
was
can
lucky enough to
find.
find a bit for me.
Of course. Yes. Well, I will do what I can to reconnect with my people, find out what happened, and see perhaps if there are others that have been lost here, others that may have been in stasis, such as I have been for the past 200 years. Perhaps they will
As
know
far
more, or
As far as
Yes.
I'm aware, this is not the only ship on the planet that is crashed.
Mm.
So
that's good to know.
I at least hope that there is perhaps some kinship of yours that are just waiting to be woken up by you.
Well, I hope so. I hope we can find them. Well, we should probably find the others.
They are just outside. They are not as agreeable with the idea of sleeping inside here.
Even though it is clear it'd probably be best to avoid the temptation of tampering with more of it.
Yes, that
Uh,
was
not to, how do I put this lightly? Not to be rude, but tampering with something like this could be very dangerous for those who don't understand how it works. Might accidentally do something that can't be undone.
I think I know somebody who would have said that exact thing.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Well, so there was one of your other friends was exploring. I noticed them. I left them to what they were doing. They seemed to,
she's fine. I don't care.
I see.
She's more or less invited herself into a traveling group.
I see. Rather an acquaintance than a friend, then.
Exactly.
A ally in battle. I
There we go.
understand. Yes.
And,
Well-
you are more than welcome to join us around sleeping arrangements if you need it.
That is most kind.
We have decided to take some watches and make sure our compatriots can get some rest. I know a couple
I'm
of them
sure.
really need it.
I'm sure you'll have many more questions for me, and I certainly have many more questions for all of you about this
I am,
Aegis and this world and everything.
I am quite the light sleeper if you ever need to ask any questions.
Hmm. He kind of looks you up and down. Gonna make a roll on something. Yes, I can tell. The lack of a pulse
Yes.
tells me
Yes.
you are not a thrall or true undead.
No.
So it must be something else. I've seen similar things before.
Yes.
Reborn, we call them. At least where I come from.
Reborn.
Hmm.
Interesting.
People who have
I like it.
died previously but have returned in a space in between the living and the dead. Sound
That
of
sounds
mind,
right.
but perhaps not of body.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hmm.
Well, it's about time to go and meet up with the others. I know there is going to be one flashy little firecracker who is going to wring my neck if I don't get up there soon.
Yes.
I'll start
And
kind of like speed walking my way
he'll-
towards
he'll-
the entrance.
he will walk with you. And yeah, you guys make your way outside. Sel returns, looking quite happy with herself. It's like,
Oh,
very
good. You
interesting.
Oh, good. You did not get lost.
Yes, you really missed out, Bishop. There were many wonderful things to see, so many things to think about. But, well, best to leave everything where it was, just cause a problem.
I'm gonna go sit next to Astra.
And yeah, you guys take your places around the fire. You notice immediately, all of you, as soon as Xidas is outside, the night, there are no clouds. It is the middle of the night and the fire is out. You guys, this ship doesn't really radiate much light, except for kind of almost the kind of alien natural light of some kind that seems to come from the inside that kind of illuminates it from the consoles and such. But out here, it is dark and the stars shine very bright. And you notice immediately Xidas is kind of like looking up at them, kind of almost counting stars, almost trying to calculate where he is. Kind of looking for constellations, things like that, and just, yeah, seems to be deep in thought. And yeah. Is there anything the rest of you would do before sleeping, and who would like to take the third and final watch?
I feel like Veldren and Aridia
Yeah, we'll take last
will
watch.
take that watch. We'll take that last watch together. Yeah, Veldren's very much like busy, like setting up camp. Of like just like going around busying himself, like here, and then it'll probably like before Sybil goes to bed, would like kind of wander over to her like and quietly, "Are you all right? You took a nasty blow there."
Yeah. I'm okay.
Insight. If I need to.
I don't even know if you need to.
Yeah, I
I
feel
feel
like that was a
Veldren knows her
very,
pretty
like,
well.
yeah.
I don't think she has the energy to lie right now.
It was only a 13 anyways. I rolled a 6.
Uh, higher. Wait, where? Thing at 19.
No, she's not doing good. It's not even entirely
just-
about the headache. She's been through worse. So,
Yeah.
What?
I think Veldren would give like a concerned smile that radiates, "I don't believe you," but isn't going to like push or pry or prod or anything. Would just kind of like set up his sleeping roll and everything and would gesture to it like, "After the night we've had, you especially should take that. Sorry for trying to tackle you earlier, by the way.
when did that happen? What?
During
Just thought it was an awkward hug. I don't know.
well, you were hearing whichever voice was calling out to you.
Oh,
You and Bishop were quite enthralled. Aridia too, until I threw a dagger at her.
did someone stab me?
Yes, Aridia did stab you. It worked to snap, the pain worked to snap Aridia out of it, so she was doing her best to try to stop you from entering in.
No, it's okay. That's fine. Sorry about that.
Why are you... Sybil, you don't need to apologize for that, of all things. Enchantment magic is dangerous, is tricky, very, very tricky.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I wasn't affected is because I've studied it, and the voice they chose for me just didn't make sense to be out here. Logically, my brother would not be out here, of all places.
Same. I should have known. Yeah, that was pretty strong.
You were worried. This is alright. I don't think anyone is going to blame you for chasing after someone that you care about.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try to sleep off this this headache.
Of course. If you need to talk about anything ever, I'm always willing to lend an ear.
Thank you.
Of course. Go get some rest. I'm going to try to do the same before my watch.
Then I lay down. I go sleep.
Go
easy.
sleep.
Yeah, you lay down and you immediately just pass out. Like it's not even hard. You're just out. And yeah, leaves Veldren and Aridia. I will say that during this time Xidas does not seem to sleep. He's sitting like crisscross applesauce looking up at the stars. Doesn't seem interested in anything you're saying. You can tell him to go away if you want. If you're trying to have a private conversation, if you ask him, if you're like, would like to talk about something private, he will happily step away out of earshot, but he's very enamored with the stars right now and doesn't seem to want to sleep anytime soon after being asleep for almost 200 years.
Yeah. More than enough rest.
Mhm.
Veldren, during his watch, will just kind of sidle up, keeping an eye on
Mm-hmm.
the surrounding area, but eyes keep being drawn to the ship, just getting like a weird feeling of like we might be a little far away now, but
Aridia clocks that they keep looking back at the ship, and I think in her head she misreads it as not so much being like wary of, but again that like interest that you showed initially.
there's also a little bit of that. Don't worry.
She'll like just sigh, and I'll like grab my bag and come sit next to you, and I will dig through and pull out what looks like a sketchbook, flip through, and then with one of my daggers clean slice a couple pages out and hand them to you. And it's they were done with care, so they're probably relatively well done, but it is sketches of what looks like scenery and like almost like an edge of a town and ships on the horizon coming in, and then some done of illithids, like portraits of them almost, and then a more detailed one of a ship, and there's just like various like angles or drawings of it, and she'll hand them to you.
Yeah, he'd look over and like, these are very well done. You have quite the hand at drawing, Aridia.
It was something that I used to do a long time ago.
Not much anymore?
Not a lot of time for art when you are constantly on the move. But I thought that maybe you could put those with your notes, and it would keep you from getting closer to the ship again.
I'm not going anywhere near the ship, don't worry. I'm curious. But the mechanisms I'm probably interested in anyways are probably ruined from the crash. It's not every day you see flying ships that can supposedly travel through the reaches of astral space. It's fascinating.
Fascinating is one word for it. Though I hope that you do not see any of their ships flying through the air anytime soon.
Hopefully not. That would put a whole big damper on the events 200 years ago. You don't have to worry about me, Aridia. I know the common trope of people like me being interested in the wrong sorts of things and getting people into trouble because of that. Uh, I care more about the safety of my friends than I do the pursuit of my knowledge.
It is a good quality to have, Veldren.
I wouldn't say good quality. I would say the correct normal quality to have. Oftentimes when scholars seek to do great, they forget to do good. And that's not something I wish to forget to do.
I think doing good is a matter of opinion, but I share the sentiment.
Well, what's your opinion then? What's good?
That is a very complicated question, Veldren.
That answers it good enough. Sorry for snapping at you earlier, Aridia. I was worried. I was worried over Sybil. I was worried about the rest of the group.
No, you were not in the wrong when you said what you said. I understand where you were coming from, Veldren. I just also know... I know what happens if you do not put them down quickly.
You hope.
Yes. We were not quick enough to respond, and it was lost, so
I'm sorry.
don't be.
It can't have been easy. Family is important. Family means a good deal.
They do.
And what you and Bishop were saying earlier, you might want to be a bit more wary of who's around. By the way, Elven's quite a common language.
I do forget that other people do speak that. You are right.
You and Bishop both often forget that many people can speak the same language.
Yeah, it is we're not used to having people around when we argue.
Me and my brother are the same. We bicker and squabble, but that's how you show you care. You can only be around someone for so long until you start butting heads a little bit.
Yeah, Bishop and I have been butting heads since I could walk.
I can tell.
What is your brother's name?
Iso. He's back in Cornucopia. Yes.
He is lucky to have a brother like you.
No. We're not doing this already. We're not getting into whole complimenting each other back and forth kind of thing after a little bit of an intense moment.
Okay, fine. I will not compliment you ever again.
Appreciate it. Very well. Perfectly fine by me. You've been around. How did you end up here in Cornucopia? From what I can see, you don't seem to be native to around here.
What do you mean?
The fact that you just laughed like that.
I think that's Hans rather than
It was
Aridia.
both. It was both. I
Just also, I've heard Bishop say that he was from the Feywield before and
too.
can put two and two together and.
We are from Phelan. And
Where did I get Feywield from?
it is confusing for people who have never been there. It is fine.
Yes, I've never been. But what brought you here, of all places? It's rather a strict place to come to from an outside perspective.
It is true. Everyone here is so weird about magic. It is everywhere there,
Tell me about it.
but it. I. I was running, and here seemed as good of a place to run as anywhere.
And are you going to continue to stay here? I mean,
Well,
Sybil and I are headed to the coastal cities. Do you plan to stay here in Gloria, or?
I do not stay in any one place too long. It never ends well. Things have a way of catching up to you.
Is that an opinion or a fact?
Like, tucks the hair behind the half cut off ear. It is a fact.
Got you. In Veldren's brain, he's thinking, why is everyone on the run? What is everyone on the run? He doesn't say that, though.
It is true.
Well, while you're traveling here with us, I'll do my best to keep an eye out for you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Veldren.
Of course, you've caused a save or two for Sybil and I. Astra and Bishop as well.
Maybe that falls into part of my definition of good. Protecting people.
Well, that's something we can both agree on, to be good. Even having different ways of doing so. I'm not as skilled with the blade.
No, but you are very stealthy. And that is a good quality to have.
I'm used to working on my own. You need to be good at staying hidden whenever it's just you a lot of the time.
I'm glad you and Sybil have each other.
Yes, quite a recent development.
Oh, it is almost as
finding
if you
something.
have been together for a very long time. The way you look out for each
Really?
other.
Well, it's you grow accustomed to having someone watching your back even after such a short amount of time.
Sure.
Veldren, you look at Veldren's face. So oblivious.
Oh.
He does not understand.
In my head, oh, this poor man.
That Shaw from Aridia cut like a knife. Oh, sure.
He's like such a smart person. Useless.
Nothing
here.
behind the eyes.
Nothing behind those
So
eyes.
smart. So smart. At least
So
you're
smart,
pretty.
but so dumb.
At least you're pretty.
Yes. Sybil has been a great companion to have recently.
I suppose I have missed having the companions to travel with. It's been about 199 years or so. So,
What was it like before everything.
Back in my day.
Yes, Boomer, please tell me.
What the fuck? You just call Aridia boomer? Damn.
Yes, I did. Yes, when Aridia pulls her "I've been alive longer than you" card on me, absolutely.
Okay, Boomer.
That goes to you too, Bishop.
Hey,
Oh
I'm
no!
not
Okay,
there.
Peepaw, tell us about the war.
I remember it. What is it like yesterday?
You do remember the war. You were there.
I don't know about the war.
What was Phelan like? I've always been curious. Somewhere where magic roams. It seems like such the opposite to Gloria.
Phelan is beautiful and it is wild and sort of overflowing with magic. Sort of a leaking of magic from the Feywilds into Phelan.
Interesting.
Lot
I
of
wonder if that's caused from like, is there a hole in the planes themselves, or like, how do the planes work with the planets?
You know when someone tries to use magic that is well beyond their ken, and it typically goes horribly wrong. That is what happens.
No, I usually use magic in very controlled environments.
Okay, Veldren, you know about the incident in Phelan. Like everyone knows
I
that,
would know,
especially
but I don't
you.
have first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm
It's
not.
like, I know
old.
what happened. I know what happened. I've done a little bit of research into the Feywild, and I'll like from like inside the coat jacket, a little like metallic red, like different shades of red snake would kind of coil down and like appear out of his sleeve and everything. It'll just like flicker the tongue at you. Rust, he is actually technically a Fey spirit.
Oh, and she like gets down to like look at him. I level. Oh, hello there. Little friend.
He'll nod his head and like flicker his tongue out at you, and like this snake is smiling at you.
I love it. I love it so much. There is a portal to the Feywilds there, and everything gets quite a bit stranger the closer you get to it.
Am I taking you from your home, Russ?
Just
Do you want to go back?
He just looks at you and just like doesn't blink, like not sure what to say. Just like
Please, why do you want to go home?
Please, I can dismiss you. I can summon you later.
just like shakes his head, like doesn't want to be dismissed. And will like coil up against you.
Yeah,
He
I'll
clearly
let him,
wants
like
to stay
coil
with you.
around my neck. I will let him coil around my neck almost.
Mhm.
It is very different than here. There is a bit of a split between people who love all of the raw magic that comes through, that kind of affects everyone's lives. And then other people think it is just an absolute curse. So,
And where are you on that spectrum?
I mean, magic can be a wonderful thing.
You say a lot of non-answers, Aridia.
Yes. It's
Do you truly have no opinion on it?
on what? Is it magic?
On the raw magic that flows through it like blood in a vein.
I think that it can be a good thing. I've seen what it can create, but I have also seen what it can be used to destroy, so I think it is a good thing to have around.
Like if this was like a Telltale game, there's a little like when you say
Remember this.
I've seen like what it can destroy. Veldren will remember this.
What?
The little butterfly comes up. This
Yeah.
choice will have of consequences.
Mhm.
Goodness, what? Interesting.
It is home.
Thank you for these drawings, though. I won't press you any further about any more questions. I know I can ask a lot of them.
You can ask as many questions as you would like. You
Well,
May-
in that
you
case,
just might not get a straight answer, but I think you know to expect that.
I do for most people, and I don't take any offense of it. Most people don't like questions. And I know I have my own secrets I don't wish to share.
I'm not going to ask you about your secrets.
That's perfectly fine. I would not give you a straight answer either.
I appreciate it.
Fine. One last question.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Such an oddball question.
I think she's very thrown when you ask that. It's like the first one that's actually gotten her.
Mm-hmm.
A very pale green, like fresh buds on a tree in springtime.
Very nice.
Okay, well now I wanted to know what your favorite color is.
Well, you can't copy the same question that I just asked. That's not how this works.
Okay, what color do you hate?
I hate the color yellow.
I hate yellow too.
It's so bright.
It is just a disgustingly happy color. And
I wouldn't go that far. I don't hate it because it's a happy color. I feel like I'm also learning a lot of information from that answer as well.
Uh,
that's what everyone
Yeah, I
wakes
think
up
that's
to
how
is
they'll
our
watch.
mutual hating of yellow conversation.
Can I also roll like a perception check for the
Actually,
actual
yeah,
watch,
can we?
just in case?
listen, I was waiting for you guys to finish your conversation.
Yeah, I feel like the conversation is.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can make me perception checks.
Is it a good luck?
12.
17.
Woman 17. Yeah. Veldren, you are completely enamored by this conversation. It's kind of, you're not really keeping watch when you should be. You're more just thinking about everything and kind of, again, taking the occasional glances back at the ship, at kind of taking your
I
curiosity
want to know
to
how
see
the
if
ship
anything's
works.
changed.
I want to know how the ship works.
I know. But Aridia, I think, yeah, you would kind of notice just, yeah, everything seems calm. There are no more voices in your head. You do see, you can see kind of in the small distance, kind of sitting away from the fire you guys have made. You see Xidas kind of just sitting, like crisscross applesauce, in kind of just in the middle of the field, just kind of like looking up at the stars like a little kid, just like taking it all in. Kind of occasionally you see him kind of point up, and you kind of maybe think he's counting or something. After a while, he kind of like lays back casually, and we'll just continue to just look up at the stars. And
Do I get the impression that this is also a man who is 100% listening to when we're talking?
with your 17, you can't know for sure, but he's a pretty decent distance away. And like, if you had very specifically said to him, "Hey, we're having a conversation over here, could you not?" He would have specifically been like, "Cool, I'm gonna left." You don't get the impression that he's
Wouldn't have said
listening.
it, but yeah, okay, cool.
He understands that you're having a private conversation. He's not eavesdropping. He seems very enamored with what he's doing. He doesn't have time for your conversation.
Perfect.
And yeah, after a short while, the sun begins to rise, and you all finish your long rest. So you can all take a long rest. Yeah. Yeah. Xidas had fallen asleep after a while. He did kind of go still, but yeah, he kind of, as the rest of the group kind of wakes up, he will sit up and will not gather his things because he doesn't have anything. I will say this man is still like he doesn't. He has pants, and that's it.
I would give him probably like one of my spare shirts. You said he's like lanky. He said he's also lanky.
He's lanky. He's lanky but muscular. Like
I give
he
him one
probably
of my
fills out my
shirts.
shirt. He fills out one of my shirts a lot better than I do. Veldren
Yeah.
wears like really baggy clothes most of the time.
yeah, it's like when gym bros put on those those like shirts that
Compression
like
shirts.
really like clench to their bodies. You can see all the muscles through it. It's like that.
Those compression shirts,
Yeah,
like
yeah. He's
black
wearing
compression shirts and
yeah.
gray sweatpants.
Oh yeah.
Sweatpants.
Nah, yeah, pretty much without the gray sweatpants. But yeah, no, he's wearing one of those, and like his muscles are still very visible through it. But like, yeah, he will thank you for it. And then yeah, you guys kind of continue off on your journey along the road. Or I guess trying to find the road now, as you still haven't found it. But why don't we have someone else roll a survival check?
May I,
Please.
please, as
yes.
a druid?
Absolutely, you can.
Someone with
Yeah.
proficiency in survival, and
I have proficiency. I just
I'm
rolled
not
one.
proficient in
You're
it.
never rolling. You're never rolling another survival check.
I'm not
again.
proficient in it, but I do have a +4. So
Okay, roll it.
There we go. Never again, Aridia.
a 9.
A 9.
You do
it
have inspiration.
takes a
Oh, yeah.
while.
Can I add my inspiration?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
It's a D6, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So 15. I rolled
15.
6.
Okay, much better.
I just want to double check
Um,
that it was the right dice.
You definitely it takes you a little while, but you are able to kind of backtrack a little bit to find perhaps where you went wrong. You find your previous tracks from the day before, and you kind of have a moment where you think about the direction you and Bishop came from, and you're like, oh wait, no, it was this way. Oh, I see how we went wrong. And you were able to do that, and yeah, kind of after maybe like another half day, you do find the main road. Kind of being about a day behind on your schedule. So this trip that would take about 7 days will probably now take you about 8, as you've kind of lost a day. But yeah, you are able to continue on the road. Things seeming a lot more straightforward now that you have found this kind of main pathway. You do, you would probably, now that you're on the main road, kind of every now and then, you do see kind of some wagons go by, and you just see signs of life from other people. Yeah, Sybil, cloak up. You're just like, all right, I don't want to be. Would anyone else be making any? Would anyone else trying to kind of not be seen, or perhaps maybe draw attention away from themselves? Perhaps.
I also have the cloak, the hood on my cloak up over my hair, which is now a slightly different color, but it's still pink.
Bishop waved at the passers-by.
I think Veldren would also be in front
Mhm.
without the hood up to try to draw attention away from the rest of the group as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Astra has her cloak.
Astra,
I
you
It's
have
not
your
like
cloak?
covering her head, but she's got her cloak on over her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Bishop-
guys continue traveling. Bishop?
Oh, yeah. I think Bishop would also be like next to Veldren, just because he's
Mhm.
very noticeable, just to
Mhm.
keep eyes off of everybody else.
Lanky boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Astra would spark up a conversation with our new friend about the stars.
Absolutely. Yeah. How do you start that conversation?
Um, I-
Mhm.
I didn't want to interrupt last night while you were but the stars, am I right?
Oh, you are an enjoyer of the astral sea. It is very beautiful here. It's completely unique and different. I mean, every part of deep space is deeply unique in its own way, seeing it from 1,000 angles, and you see it ways you've never seen it before. But here, this is just completely unlike anything I've ever seen. It's beautiful. It took me all night to count at least some of them. I still have no idea what system I'm in. Certainly far beyond where I have been before.
I think they're beautiful, and I don't know, I always feel like at home when I'm watching them or like under them. And they're my friends, you know?
Yes. I understand, yes. The stars... Each star holds a very special place in an infinite galaxy. And it's good to see them as your friends. You feel a connection to them, perhaps?
Just 1 second, I'm double checking something in my backstory
Absolutely,
doc.
yeah, 100%. Go for it. Yeah, no, he will continue kind of talking with you about the stars and kind of like we'll share stories about, what the stars look like from where he's seen them, and we'll talk about like he will mention kind of a few names of, some of the, other systems he's been to and planets and such like that. You hear kind of these names you've never heard of, and we'll talk about kind of there are some things that he'll talk about different like groups of people, races and stuff like that you have heard of. There are some that you have no idea. But yeah, he talks about the elves. There are there are different types of elves. There are the high elves, the wood elves. There's the Veldren as well, which are connected to the Feywild. There are also elves that have been born in deep space, known as astral elves, that exist as well. And they kind of have their own set of unique abilities. He mentions a race that you've never heard of before, called the Gith. He describes them as being these kind of hulking figures that are very humanoid hippo people. He kind of tells you a funny story about how they almost got into a war over their pronunciation. Some people were referring to them as the GIF, which is he gives his opinions on it and he says no, it is definitely the GIF. That war would have been not worth it, but they were truly upset about it. But yes, but yeah, just talks for hours with you about it.
When Astra is talking about like the stars feeling like home and comforting, she will like add on, like the stars have always been so like kind and like to me. They gave me this, and she points to her moon phases. And
okay.
she'll kind of explain the story of going out into the balcony one night and stardust falling from the sky, and comforting her, and then the tattoos appearing on her chest.
He's very enamored by this story and like is listening and everything. It's just, so you are, and kind of almost like is almost taken aback a little, as if he hadn't noticed something at first. He's like, forgive me, are you celestial?
No, I'm human.
Are we all hearing this?
I think they would be having this conversation kind of up front.
Okay.
No, Astra's loud.
So unless people are actively trying to listen in, then I would say no.
Astra's oblivious and loud.
I think Veldren stumbles a little bit.
Yeah.
You hear an infernal. Yeah, I really don't like him now.
And he'll kind of, you kind of mention kind of that, and he kind of like sparks a few words. He sparks a few words in Celestial to see if you understand them, and you do. And yeah, I'm just curious. How did you come to learn of Celestial? Is it a commonplace language here in the plains, or?
Mother speaks it a lot at the gate, and I've learned from her.
Oh, this leader of this Gloria you mentioned. This mother of yours, does she serve as a queen or a member of a council or? Or some sort
Her
of
title's
other ruler?
Archangel, right? She's Archangel
Yes.
Zariel right now.
Archangel
Yeah.
Zariel, yeah. Oh, an archangel. Well, that's quite something to be the child of an archangel. That's
Uh,
huh.
she's not my actual mother.
Ah, I see. Are you you are unaware of your true origins?
I don't know, I've just been told that I'm a gift.
Well, that you are. And yeah, he'll continue talking about kind of the stars and everything, and we'll speak probably from that point on. Speaks to you in Celestial, and he'll kind of as he's kind of getting kind of a little lost in things, and we'll talk to you. He'll kind of ask. Sorry, my lady. I don't know if it's rude of me to ask. I've mostly been referring to you as your title, but may I know your name?
Oh, I'm Astra.
Astra. Yes, I will call you as such if you would prefer, or I can call you by your title, or I can call you
Yes,
both.
yes, please. Just Astra.
Well, it is good to know you, Astra. I'm glad we can share a kinship in the stars and our love for them. And yeah, he will continue talking to you for hours and just you just have a very wonderful, lovely conversation. And yeah, it's good. It's lovely, lovely, nice conversation. But yeah, from that point on, he kind of talks in Celestial to you, and you just have a lovely, lovely conversation, a lovely time. As you kind of settle for that night, everything seems relatively fine. You were able to find a space kind of just off the road. Nothing too eventful happens. And I will say the next few days kind of go by without there being too much issue. Is there anything anyone would specifically like to do on their travels? Conversations they might like to have? Items they might want to take a closer look at? Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Hi, yes, me.
Yeah, okay.
Waiting for a good chance.
Yeah,
If I can,
absolutely.
I'd like to poison these food.
Identify 3 times.
Identify 3
on
times. Yeah,
the,
you can absolutely don't
on
even
the
feel like you have to
cloak, the
mark.
scimitar.
Don't even mark the spell slots off. You don't need to, because you will get them back
Also
over
ritual
time.
Spell.
Oh yeah, and you have a
Also
ritual cast as well. Yeah,
spell.
absolutely. Remind me which items you have.
I have a cloak, a scimitar, and a crystal orb.
You have a crystal orb. Okay, so you spend some time fiddling with the crystal ball, and you kind of you look into it, and you kind of move it around and such. And as you're kind of looking over it, and you're kind of casting this spell, kind of moving it around, kind of previously, as you'd noticed, one side of it seems to be, or part of it seems to be quite warm, and kind of almost like there's almost like a vibration to it, but otherwise it seems completely normal. But as you kind of move it around, that part of it seems to move. And as you complete the ritual casting spell, you discover that you are holding an orb of direction. If you'd like to add that to your inventory.
Yes. Yes. Let me go there. Manage inventory. Orb of direction.
Yes.
Let me.
Would you like me to read what it does?
I've got it right here.
Yeah.
While holding this orb, you can use an action to determine which way is north. This property functions only on the material plane.
There you go. That will certainly help with any future checks for trying to gain direction. You know you are trying to head east currently. So you can use this orb. You're like, oh yeah, we are heading east. We're going the right way. Oh, this would have been nice to have a couple days ago. Anyway,
I think
like,
I would
oh,
hand
okay.
the orb over to Astra, since Astra is the one kind of like guiding us. Everything is like, Astra, this should help point. The warm part points towards north, so might help directionally and everything. Since you're the one
It's so
leading
pretty.
this little expedition, it is, isn't it?
And it helps with direction. Okay.
Yes, the warm part points towards north as long as you like focus on it.
That's so helpful when the stars aren't out.
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
What are the other two items?
Okay.
I wanna know.
All right. Yeah. The second one. Would you look at the scimitar or the cloak first?
Probably the cloak.
The cloak. Okay. Yeah. You look over the cloak, and you kind of you take some time with it. You kind of put it on, kind of fiddle around with it, and it's quite light but thick. Kind of it's like lightweight, so easy for travel, but it seems to kind of you kind of feel the material, and it's quite a thick wool material. And then you use your spell on it. You use identify, and you discover that this is a cloak of protection.
I immediately hand it to Sybil. I shove it into Sybil's head.
Yeah.
No, I go.
Yeah, you gain
Sybil,
a +1 bonus to your AC and saving throws while you're wearing this cloak. It is something you need to be attuned to, which you can do.
Sybil, I think this should go to you. It should help with elements of protection and resilience.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, very sure.
Okay. Thank you. She has not said a
course.
word in the past few days.
I think Veldren definitely takes time out of his day every day to talk to Sybil at the very least. Like if he sees that she's not speaking, it's definitely just little small talk kind of stuff.
Thank you. I will try to figure this out. I've never used a magic item before.
Just take about an hour. Feeling the magic that comes from the cloak and almost let it intertwine with yourself.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
Yeah. And you take the time and you're able to successfully tune to it.
Yes.
And then the last item. This one is a little strange, as it is a weapon. You kind of look it over and you think, oh, maybe it's just a regular weapon. You kind of swing it back and forth. It seems to be well made. And then kind of on the third day, as you're kind of looking it over, you're kind of sitting at night with it, kind of trying to figure it out, kind of part way through the kind of casting of the spell. And people are taking watches and stuff. You're perhaps on taking a watch by yourself, and you kind of have a moment where you're kind of looking it over, and you don't hear anything, but you suddenly feel the need to kind of look up, and you look towards the brush, as if there's something there, but there's nothing there. You think that's strange. And then a deer kind of pops out, kind of looks at you, but you almost knew it was going to be there already. Which was a little strange, and it kind of looks at you, goes, uh-oh, and then it goes off away again. And it's a little strange. How did you know it was there before it appeared? That's strange. But you spend some time going over it, and you find out that this is a scimitar of warning. This magic weapon warns you of danger. While the weapon is in your possession, you have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. The weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins. It is also a finesse weapon.
This could be helpful. This could be quite helpful. Yes. However, I'm not proficient in scimitars, so
Okay.
Veldren can't use this really well. So I will
It's a light weapon. You can't use it?
Yes,
You're a
but
rogue.
rogues don't get proficiency in scimitars. They are a martial weapon.
I swear,
and
a scimitar
rogues
is a
don't
light
get-
finesse weapon. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
light finesse, but rogues don't get proficiency in all light finesse
Well,
weapons.
maybe
It's only
get
like
someone to
certain
train
ones.
you in martial weapons, or
That's
specifically with a scimitar. Someone who knows how to use scimitars could train you in some downtime that you might have at some point. Who knows?
But I think what Veldren would do, like on his watch tonight and everything, is like going over it, and like once everyone wakes up, he'd probably go over to Aridia and Bishop, seeing that as they are the two main sword wielders of the group. I have an item for one of you. I'm afraid I don't quite know how to wield a scimitar myself. It should warn you to when danger's coming, and any allies that are around you. If either of you would like such a weapon.
I mean, I'm pretty sure either of us could use a weapon like that. What do you think, sis?
I think it is up to you if you want a blade, or Veldren, we could teach you how to use it.
We very much could.
Veldren's like, no.
That's possible, but that would take some time. And
I mean,
are we going to be traveling together for that long?
well, I mean, we are going to be on the road for
I know we're going to Mystral together.
quite a few days. I mean,
I do think it might take me a few more than just a few days to learn how to master scimitar.
correct. Well, master, more absolutely. You're going to need quite a few years of practice. But to at least get the basics down, Melanie, I mean, if we combine our heads together and give you some lessons, like at night before we bunk down, we'll be able to get you the gist of it. That way you at least have a starting idea.
I mean, truly, I am perfectly fine if either of you want to have this weapon. You don't have to go out of your way of trouble for all of that.
I mean, well, I mean, I still have, Pat, his sword on the side. To be fair, I already have a blade that is, that has some history with us. And, yeah. And I mean, what about you? How do you feel about your blade?
I have a couple, but can I seize this one? I'll hold my hand out.
Yeah.
I'll take it
over.
and test its weight and give it a couple swings just to see how it feels. It is a nice blade. It would maybe do better than an Pat. I have two swords. One looks very much nicer than the other, and for Veldren, who I think has done detect magic around us, you would know one of my two
I do not.
blades. I thought you did
I
when
don't have detect magic. Sybil has detect magic, but I don't.
So it might have been Sybil who saw, but one of my blades is definitely nicer than the other. My
Mhm.
swords, so
Get a higher Arcana. There's a good chance
if you are certain that you do not want it,
You don't have to trouble yourself for anything like that. Go for it. And if I'm correct, as long as we're traveling together, it'll benefit the group as well.
then I will gladly take it. Thank you, Veldren.
Hand it over to Aridia.
Okay. Add a scimitar of warning to your inventory. It is an item you can attune to for the effect.
Hell yeah!
Okay. All right. Yeah, that is all the magic items. So yeah, you guys continue on your journeys. Astra, Xidas would continue talking to you at length about the stars. Would tell you a bit, about where he comes from, and his worlds and his job as kind of part of the armies. You would learn that the greater universe of the Astral Sea has been under siege by the Mind Flayers for millennia. What he referred to as the Beyond is the lands that have been lost, the worlds that have been taken over and turned into thrall worlds, parts of the galaxy that are lost to the armies of the Mind Flayers. The Gith kind of are the main sort of protectors, along with others, but they are kind of the main force that stepped up, and they had an agreement with the dragons, or at least the red dragons, to be a fighting force against the Mind Flayers, as they have a natural resistance to psionics. And they fought these wars for many years. He's been part of the armies for a long time. His homeworld of Gith disappeared into the Beyond long before he was born. But he comes from the world that he calls his home. Would be, I have to find it in my notes. Where is it? There it is. No, hold on. Yes. It would be a world known as Solastus. It's a
Spelling, please.
Solastus. Solastus.
Thank you.
And it comes from a system far, far away from here. Pretty much the other side of the galaxy, which is why he's so kind of like, Mind Flayer shouldn't be here. This is far beyond the wall. Like, this is far beyond the defensive line. This one must have snuck through somehow and came here specifically for some reason. He talks at length about places like talk about worlds that you are familiar with, where there is like the Feywild and the Hells and such, which you discover are these planes and worlds are kind of interchangeable. All of the planes are in the Astral Sea. And kind of when he talks about, he kind of interchangeably uses, he's like, the words are weird and common, but they're kind of interchangeable. But yes, the planes and worlds are the same. Different worlds, different planes, that sort of thing. And the Feywild and the Hells and such tend to move around. They're not really in a set place, so they're hard to get to unless you specifically go there for reasons. It's the Feywild plane is not in a particular place, and then the Hells kind of move around. But yes, you had something you wanted to add?
Okay, so I had this weird dream the other night, and I can't think of anywhere in Aegis that would have landscape like this. And she'd kind of describe
You describe
what she saw in her dream.
The Crystal City? Yeah. You kind of describe it to him. Yeah. You describe that, and you describe the kind of ocean of stars, and he kind of thinks for a long time. Let me make a roll. Kind of thinks for a long time. There are many worlds that have landscapes such as this, but the combination of the cities made of crystal and the sea of stars. That could be a few places. I'm not sure I would know specifically which plane that would be, but that does sound like it could be a separate plane of existence. It doesn't seem, kind of looking at your world, it doesn't seem to be the sort of place that would have a sea of stars. And your buildings and your structures do seem to be made of a combination of organic materials from the earth rather than crystals such as this.
Yeah, I was just curious because I'm so confused by this dream. But yeah,
It is alright to be
Thanks.
confused. Dreams often are very confusing, but if there is anything I can do to assist, if I can kind of rack my brain and see if I can perhaps find one, and if perhaps when we finish our travels, if you need to go there, if I can find a way to get off this planet, perhaps we can go looking for it together. That's something that would interest you.
that sounds so cool.
Mm.
But I don't think I should leave Aegis just because of a dream.
Dreams are worth fighting for. That's what I believe. But yes, if you wish to stay, if you have duties you must attend to, I understand.
Mother would. Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well. Yeah, we'll just continue having these kind of nice conversations with you, kind of, giving you this offer of going. I have to ask, Bishop, are you listening? Do you listen to any of this? Because he doesn't know
Bishop
you
is, like,
speak
ready
Celestial.
Oh yeah,
I will also
Okay,
say,
there's a blood vessel about to pop.
Also
I-
listening in Celestial.
I
I
will
also
also say-
listen in Celestial.
I also listen to Celestial.
you will all hear these things. Then I will say as well, when he's having these conversations with Astra, he does have conversations with the rest of you. He's never specifically, like, your names have been mentioned in front of him. He's never specifically asked for them.
Yeah,
Just a note.
I was going to talk to Xidas too. Don't worry.
Mhm. Do you interrupt a conversation with Astra, or do you find a time when he's not busy? Or like maybe at night or something?
Oh no, it would be when they're not talking
Okay.
to each other. Yeah.
I guarantee
Like,
you, when we are not moving,
later.
Astra is bugging Bishop. Like, don't worry.
I will say every once in a while, like just keeping an eye out as we're walking. If I see any kind of flower that's like pretty, I'm just gonna go in and grab it.
Somebody's jealous.
No, what makes you say that? What makes you think that? No, I would never.
Yeah. But yes, Veldren, you would like to have a conversation with Xidas. You can absolutely find him one night. He's counting stars and such, and he kind of just looks up and say, yes.
Yes, I just had a few questions about astral space and many of the vessels. You see it around.
Yes. Well, I very rarely have I used astral vessels. I usually would. My main mode of transportation would be with my dragon.
And traveling like that wouldn't cause any kinds of damage or anything traveling through the astral plane.
Not for myself, no.
It's a safe environment to travel through.
For some, it is. The temperatures are extremely low, and we Gith have a natural affinity to that, so we don't have to breathe oxygen the same way that most of you do. We can still lose our breath, but we can process the dimension of the astral sea a little better, so that we can travel with dragons.
Interesting.
Much like dragons can.
Veldren is writing all of this down in
Mhm.
in his blue journal.
Mhm.
And everything, just kind of scribble it, like just scribbling like little notes in like a new section he has penciled out towards like the back of the book.
Uh-huh.
And for more common vessels, how do they travel through it? Is it a combustion kind of propulsion system? Is it magical infinity through telekinetic abilities?
I'm
Or is
afraid
it through like
I'm not an engineer, but there are many engines that are used to power these things. Some are powered by astral engines of such. Some are powered by fragments of stars. So we call those starships. Though they are very rare and cost a lot of credits. But
credits?
uh,
Is that the universal currency?
galactic
as it
currency,
were?
yes. Things like
Galactic
gold and
currency.
such are used as well, other materials and resources, but different worlds have access to different materials. But a universal credit was created that most reaches of the universe tend to use.
And how does communication work across something so vast? Is it through just magical means? Is there more? Is the galaxy a more technological advance than Aegis is here?
Well, I have not seen too much of your world outside of these kind of gestures to the trees and the plains, and is like, I don't truly know how advanced your civilization is. But I would assume so, based on the fact that you have not been introduced to the rest of the galaxy.
Interesting. And you've never heard of Aegis before. You said recently that we're in like an unknown part of the galaxy.
I'm still trying to track the stars to see if I see anything familiar, but not as far as I am aware. It's certainly not something I know, or perhaps my superiors might know of this Aegis, but I certainly do not. I've never traveled out this far.
Understood. When it comes to like terms of technology, it seems to be quite more advanced. What about things of a magical nature? How is it like a healing magic? What would you say is like a levels there?
It is, I mean, well, there are the 9 circles of magic.
Good to know. Good to know that we share that at least.
Yes. Sorry, I should have probably asked you how many there were. I might have broken your brain saying that there were 9. That would, yes, 9. Certainly, as far as
9.
I'm aware, there are 9. Some have. There are rumors and such of there being more, but I mean, well, from what I have heard, 9th Circle magic is so beyond our comprehension. I can't quite imagine what something higher than that would be. So.
Yes,
But
the
I am
9th
not.
circle often gives you the ability of a god.
Of a. Oh, yes, gods. I see. You believe in a pantheon here?
Yes, there'd be a pantheon here that some more or less believe in.
Religious teachings, or have people claimed to have had? He seems like he's trying to broach a very touchy subject, realizing, do these people believe in things they haven't seen, or do gods walk this earth? Okay, I don't want to break this tiny person's mind.
You can be quite blunt. I'm open to learning new concepts. I've often thought that there's more beyond what is here currently. The gods do walk the planet here, especially in Gloria. They're quite common.
Oh,
well, not common per se, but
Do they-
much more common than the rest of the world.
I see. So do they walk as mortals, or do they?
DM.
Nope. Gods have existed and gods have appeared and have done things, but they're not every single day walking around.
Yeah, not every single day, but like they've made appearances. before.
Yeah, they made appearances.
They
They
don't-
do. Put it this way: it's most of the formally recognized pantheons and gods and such are ones that can. A lot of them, it's almost like it blurs the line of almost religion and Tommy, you're not muted. It kind of blurs that line of almost like religious teachings and having faith versus oh no, this person exists, like, and here's like undeniable proof that this being exists. People who are clerics of them, or there are some people who like speak for gods and like have had gods possess them and speak, and it's a lot of that. Really, so like, yes, it's one of those things where it's like some of it is faith, some of it is almost a science. It kind of blurs that line.
Would I be correct in assuming that the last time a god appeared in a form other than possession was around 200 years ago?
You could assume that, as far as you're aware. Yeah, you could assume that.
Yes.
Mhm.
The less publicized kind of it. They don't walk as mortals per se. The last time one showed in a corporeal form, at least to the public's knowledge, was around 199 years ago. But possessions, communications, clerical spells, and the such are quite common.
I see. That makes sense.
I'm not exactly a religious person. You might want to. There'd be people better equipped to answer questions like that. I do know much of the mythology and.
Yes, there was mention of Mystra. That is a common ground. I am aware of Mystra.
Yes,
connections to
Mystral
magic.
Bahamut. Yes, Mystral Bahamut.
The Dragon
and
King.
then stories of. Yes. Teachings of Tiamat. And many of like those are more
makes a
common.
face when you say that.
Not a fan.
The children of the Great Dragon were interesting, but no one has seen them in a while.
Children. I'd love to hear some stories sometime if you would like, and I can tell you stories of what's happened to you on Aegis.
Yes, of course, yes. He will basically, just to TLDR it so I don't have to do it, he gives you the thing of like, like it's like D&D lore of like Tiamat and Bahamut come from I forget his name, but like it comes from like the big first dragon. I forget their name, but like he explains that and stuff like that, and
the dragon's name was Io.
Was what?
Io.
Yes. Yeah. He would say like, yes, came from Io and stuff like that.
Would we have similar kind of teachings here on Aegis?
So one thing he will say is that it's interesting that you know of dragons and Bahamut and Tiamat and such, but none of Io. Are there dragons on Aegis?
I've never met one myself, but
they exist here. They are not creatures of myth, no?
Are they creatures of myth upon in the Astral Sea?
Considering I used to ride one, I would say that they are certainly more than myth.
Yes, apologies. Yes, they are. I wouldn't say common here, but they do show up in many mythological tales, history books.
Interesting.
And you get the occasional current word of either dragon attack or one off protecting a village or two.
Interesting.
Draconis would be the more
Draconis.
Resident experts on it. Yes, one of the kingdoms, one of the continents.
I see.
One of the kingdoms here.
I would like to visit this place. Perhaps I can learn more about the dragons and their connections with Aegis.
Well, we are headed to Mystral City. It's quite
Yeah.
the hub of travel here in
Veldren, you want to
Gloria.
make me an insight
Um,
check?
Yes, I would.
Do it.
That is a natural 20.
Okay. When he asks you about dragons being here, and you like,
Mhm.
yeah, there are dragons here. That seems to really be like that seems to really take him aback because like when you started mentioning like Bahamut and Tiamat, it's like, okay, wait, sorry, what now? Huh? The children, the dragons, and you have teachings of them here, and they're a drag. Interesting. And that seems to like a lot of his questions from then on kind of directs away from talking about like you've asked him a lot of questions about the universe. He then starts asking you for everything you know about everything
Yeah.
you know about dragons and that you know about this Draconis and all that he like that suddenly becomes his focus. He is very enamored by dragons being here.
Is there I'm noticing a common theme? Is draconic history something that interests you?
Well, the draconic homeworld was one of the worlds that was lost to the beyond. So they left. Some dragons repopulated on different planets all over the known universe. Obviously, the red dragons still had their connection with us, but their leadership sort of fell apart after Io stayed with his world until it was destroyed and believed has been lost. But it was believed that perhaps his children, Bahamut and Tiamat, left, but they've not been seen since the world was destroyed.
Yeah.
And you're saying that there have been sightings of them here, on this Aegis.
Sightings of them. I mean, we have the teachings here, of course. But I'm unsure on sightings myself.
What sort of teachings?
Again, I would not
He will
be-
grill you about the teachings. Like, what do you tell him?
I mean, yeah, I would probably tell him like what Veldren would know of like different religions of the world would probably like he has proficiency in the religion skills, so it's probably like whatever he's read in a book.
Yeah.
Like he's probably gone to the library and
So, yeah.
not hidden, like nothing, like not hidden knowledge, but knowledge you could get by going to a library.
Let's see how much
pretty
you remember of it. Give me a history check.
History check, or history religion.
You choose.
Both are the same, actually. That'd be a 24.
24. Yeah, you remember a lot of it. You know that, like, yeah, it's believed that Draconum was sort of founded on that. Like, it used to be kind of near the beginning of the world, kind of before it really had a name. No one really remembers what it was before, but Dragonborn and dragons and such seem to take up residence there, and that's how it got its name, and that's kind of how it's gone. And these religious figures, these like the names Bahamut and Tiamat, they are believed to have so the stories go, have both believed to have ruled Draconum long ago. Almost like its first founding leaders. That's what you would know.
Yes, I mean, as far as I'm aware, as the history and the religious texts go, Bahamut and Tiamat were two of the first rulers of Draconis.
So they were
There's
here.
evidence with the flag. There's evidence with the flags and such.
So they came here.
I mean, it's a possibility. Or another thing to consider, you often don't want to have like confirmation bias of getting an idea in your head and letting it rule out everything. What if it was not Tiamat and Bahamut, but a different dragon that came here, brought its teachings, its religion here?
It could have been a false prophet,
And
perhaps.
it could have either been a false prophet or just someone, like you said, just going off and trying to find a home away from home.
Yeah. As you're
If
kind of like trying to be like,
Bahamut,
well, you can see like in his eyes with your insight before, like it's
Mhm.
already like things are starting to click in his
Yeah,
mind.
and,
He's
like-
making
Like,
connections.
Veldren's not doing it to like
Oh no, I know.
dissuade that line of thinking.
Yeah.
That's just how Veldren's brain goes.
Yeah,
Like,
no, absolutely.
brain
You can see though, he's
works
almost like
is-
he's hearing you, but he's almost like not kind of
Yeah.
taking it in. But like so you've given him a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Um.
That is certainly a theory to have.
Okay. Cool. Were there any other conversations people wanted to have on the travel?
I'd want to check in on Sybil.
Okay. We'll go Aridia, Sybil, and then I saw a hand from Bishop, so we will go to that afterwards.
I think like the biggest concern is like she would be like keeping an eye on you, probably picking up the same thing Veldren was of just you being a little more reserved. And just
It's nothing new. She doesn't talk unless people talk to her.
she'll like settle up like beside you at one point when we're walking and just I just wanted to check in that you were doing okay.
Oh, yes, I'm doing all right. How about you? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. That was nothing new for me, but you took a pretty hard hit, and I don't think that me stabbing you helped at all.
Oh,
And
no,
I
that's
owe you an
okay.
apology for stabbing you.
Oh no, that's okay. It's all good. She like lifts up her dress, and it's like the bandages on her hands have been replaced during a watch at night, while like probably only Veldren was up with her. So she always has bandages on her arms and stuff.
Mhm.
And this time they're the same color as her dress, and the skirt. She needed new bandages, and the skirt of her dress has some parts taken off of it.
If you ever need new wraps, I do have extra clothes you
Oh,
could use that I do not wear anymore,
I don't
so
want
that you don't have to keep tearing your clothing.
It's fine. I have to get something new, probably at Mystral City.
I feel like Astra would maybe be excited to take you shopping.
Yeah.
Do I pick up the like mild panic at the idea of having to go shopping? Aridia's like, yeah. I feel like she's
Okay.
going to pick out a very loud clothing, but I
Oh.
think that she would have fun with it. So
Yeah, if that makes them. Sorry, the cat.
Hey, I swear to God.
ready for the aggression of the.
It was so out of nowhere. Just behold.
Oh my goodness, Veldren just got a wild cat.
Oh, it's rest. Sometimes rest can change.
Russ just turns into a cat.
Just when they
sometimes
want
rest
to.
does that.
They do that sometimes.
Do you I don't know how to ask this without it sounding extremely personal, but do you normally
What? I'm sorry. What was the start of that question?
I got so distracted for a second at the timing.
I know, but the words you said. What the heck?
When you were using your magic, you sort of collapsed. Is that normal? Is that something that we need to watch out for, just to make sure that you are safe?
That was the first time it's happened, but that hmm. I haven't really willingly used my magic really before, so
Oh.
I think it's just draining a lot.
Do you not like to use magic?
No.
Oh, I mean, I guess that is kind of normal for people here in Gloria.
Yes, it's very dangerous. And well, illegal.
It is illegal here, but not other places. It
I'm
is
curious about your
strange.
more boundaries.
Oh,
Sorry. Just you didn't want to lie to the guards, but
yes. Well, lying is bad to do, but lying is an in-between gray area.
okay, sorry, I didn't mean to. I shouldn't have said.
Oh no, you are perfectly fine. Think of it like truths in lies and lies in truths. But a direct lie is typically, I don't know. If the lie breaks a law,
Magic breaks the law.
only here though. If we were back, so sorry. If we were back in my home, then it would not be breaking the law to use it. But there are other laws that kind of pertain. I don't know. It is complicated.
Okay.
You're both so awkward, and I love them so much.
You guys just continue to be awkward for a while, making very awkward conversation.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Incredible.
The only thing Sybil would do during this travel herself, legit, is change out her bandages and give her old cloak to Xidas.
Okay. Yeah. He will happily take it from me and be like, thank you. That is very kind.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm not sure, given your homeworld, I'm not sure how people would react to me. So it might be best. I know you have elves and such, but are Gith common here?
No,
Ah, that might raise some questions then and turn some heads that you might not want. So I will keep a low profile.
your bracelets too. They might take those the wrong way.
Kind of just covers them with the cloak.
Well, not when you activated them.
Yes, psionic weapons.
Okay.
He kind of like flips it over and will kind of flick his wrist, and kind of almost like a glowing kind of purple scimitar kind of appears in his hand. Kind of like moves it back and forth. There is like an energy kind of like hum to it.
That looks like magic,
Hmm.
and magic is not legal here.
Oh. Right. He very quickly puts it away. Good to know. It's so Aegis completely is against magic. That would explain your unique situation of not being contacted by the greater galaxy. That would not go over well.
Well, only Gloria is against magic, which is where we're at, the continent we're at. So
I see. I will try best not to do that then.
Cool. She just starts and walks away.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And then Bishop, you had a thing.
Yeah, I just as we're going, do I find plenty of pretty flowers?
Yeah, I would say you do. There are definitely lots of lovely kind of like flowers kind of out in the fields and stuff as you guys are walking. It's a lot of plains here, so like yeah, you definitely find some nice looking flowers, different types from all over. Yeah.
I'm gonna start fiddling with them for like a good hour, mess up on something, take it all out, try it again.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna start awkwardly walking next to Astra.
Mm-hmm. You want to make me a sleight of hand check to see how well you can make whatever you're making?
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm gonna use the Astra die.
Do it.
I have inspiration. 10, 13, 18.
18. Yeah, you are whatever it is you're making with these flowers, you make it pretty good.
Just awkwardly walk next.
Hi.
Shoulder bump a little bit.
Hi.
Is anyone paying attention?
Always.
How shifty you acting? How shifty you acting?
I'm trying to be like non-conspicuous.
Okay.
I mean, I can roll a deception check for you if you want.
Yeah. Roll me a deception check. I just want
Sure.
to see something.
Okay. I'm good at that.
So dumb. Such a dumb roll.
Don't have any more inspiration, so I'm gonna use knowledge from a past life.
Oh my god.
From the last person that he flirted with.
So that is a, let's see, 11, 2, 13, 7. That is a dirty, nasty, slutty 20.
Nice.
Just a 13 on my inside. I'm probably walking next to Sybil.
Mm-hmm.
This way, talking to Sybil about books.
Yeah.
Hello. This is going to sound kind of weird. Can I see your hand? Just
Yeah.
you good too. Hi. A little flower crown bracelet on Astra's wrist.
Aww.
I just thought you would like it.
It was really pretty. Thank you.
I'm just kind of like lightly bump her forehead with mine. And then walk away again.
Cute.
No kisses. No. You have to wait.
They rest their foreheads on each other. It's cute. Okay.
It's
Yeah, because that's no less intimate.
Bishop doesn't have lips. You have to wait.
Yeah.
Howard.
Okay. Well, if everyone's had some conversations, you guys Jesus Christ, Abigail, what the
Stop!
Sometimes I forget people look at me.
Yeah.
That needs to go on the Wednesday Night Live, please.
Oh, incredible.
Hide, Abigail. Channel your inner Sybil.
She's gone. Make it just make stealth check.
Do you want Pass Without Trace? No.
Yeah, you guys continue on. And it gets to probably the 6th day. So you got about 2 more days of travel. And it is starting to get dark. I think kind of as the night's kind of going on, it's getting to the point where you would normally make camp, but I think with Xidas kind of tracking the stars and such, there might be some time where when it's dark, he would, would like to continue to walk. If people are like, no, we're stopping, he'd be like, okay. But like, he might kind of almost push to like walk just like a little bit more. And might play into, Astra's enjoyment of the stars as well to perhaps encourage the group to continue a little bit longer. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like point out stars. He will ask you about constellations and such as well, because like he'll be like, "Well, you have knowledge of the stars, and you've been playing a long time. You teach me constellations."
my
Yeah, he'll
goodness.
ask you about constellations and everything.
She will go on about like some of the constellations, some of the different like
Mhm.
stories behind said constellations. Like she is geeking out about the
Mhm.
stars.
And
Like
he loves all of it. He is listening very intently to all of it, and seems and very much enjoys your excitement for the stars.
and that one's Fred. They're my best friends.
Incredible. But yeah, as you kind of as the night kind of continues, you kind of start to look for a place to settle for the night. And can everyone make me perception checks, please?
No.
Yes.
I'll use my star dice.
I suppose.
Can I use my
After
dice?
one.
Natural one. Okay.
Smoking glue guns don't let me down.
It is a dirty, slutty little 20.
Very nice.
Caught for Astra.
What are we doing? Perception?
Perception, yes.
There's a 16.
22.
22. 12. Okay. So I think Astra, you're kind of having your conversation with Xidas about kind of the stars and kind of pointing them all out and your favorite constellations and such like that. But you do pick up on something that almost breaks the conversation. But Aridia, you perhaps maybe with a little bit of help from your new scimitar that you are kind of connected to, you kind of almost like have like a spider sense moment of like something's going on. What is that? And so you kind of maybe get it a couple minutes before. Astra and Aridia, do either of you speak Abyssal?
I do. Don't ask why. I do.
Speak Abyssal?
No.
I want to know why.
I don't.
Okay. No?
I do.
Okay. So Astra, you start to hear kind of as you're pointing out stars, you almost have like, you're so focused, you start to hear like in the distance, what sounds like really strange. You don't know if it's shouting or singing or a mix of the both. It's very strange in a very kind of low tone kind of language. You have no idea what it is. It's very strange. It's kind of, there are words that you recognize like every now and then because kind of the different kind of it's quite similar to Infernal, but it is slightly different. But Aridia, you hear this, and it seems to be some sort of song, and it's how to put it lightly. It's not being sung. It's being sung loud rather than well, if that makes sense. Like it's when it's like 3 a.m. and people are just scream singing songs. It's a little bit like that. It's not good. And you
Drunk
listen to the
abyssal singing?
words and sorry?
It's just drunk abyssal singing.
Kind of, yeah. And it's you listen to the words and it is immediate. It's almost offensive to your ears because it is you only pick up on some of it just because it's in the distance, but it seems to be some sort of song about fighting and making love, and it's very raunchy. It's very it's very like, oh, what? Oh, like you can hear it, but you kind of wish you can't. but it is being sung very, very loud and very like you can hear it in the distance. Kind of, and it seems to be coming from kind of maybe sort of a half mile ahead of you. You see a clearing of street. Jesus Christ. Sybil's got the rave light out, dancing lights, is like joining in, having a great time, doesn't know what's going on. But it's just like, yeah. But you do see kind of in the far distance, maybe about a half mile away, a kind of set of trees where you think, oh, that might be a good spot. The rest of you kind of looking, going, oh, that might be a good spot. Kind of some cover from the trees to potentially set up camp. But it seems like it's coming from there, and you kind of vaguely see some sort of campfire light coming from there. But you just hear this. It's one voice, just kind of scream singing this really raunchy song in Abyssal. Yeah.
Huh, I did not know that I knew those words.
Yeah. It is kind of that thing where you're like, oh fuck. Oh no, I know horrible words in this other language. Oh no. Ugh. Oh god. I wish I didn't. Ugh.
What is that?
You know, I do not think that I should repeat what they are singing to you.
Yeah, the rest of you
He's saying
start
I
to
don't hear
hear it
anything.
as well. It's very loud.
You know, I kind of like the rhythm to it.
No, you don't know. No, Bishop.
No, it actually has quite a nice
No.
beat to it.
It might have a nice beat, but it does not have a nice message.
I mean,
You not understand it?
no, I did not pay attention in whatever language class this is.
This is Abyssal.
Yes, I definitely did not pay attention to that.
Yes, I'm afraid I know more of the celestial infernal kind of languages
Wait, did you say Infernal?
instead of abyssal. Veldren, Veldren does not look at Bishop. Veldren does not look at Bishop.
Astra snorts.
Staring daggers at you, just like, oh no.
Yes, I do speak infernal. That's what I'm talking about right now, though.
No, we're talking about the guy singing in Abyssal. I think he might be a little drunk.
I don't know.
I could go check it out for us really quick. I'm quite good at remaining unseen.
Yeah, but you do not speak Abyssal.
Yes, but I can see the situation itself.
If I come with, I can give us pass with that trace.
Yes, I would love that.
We can sneak up on them. Operation
like, yeah.
Sneak.
Okay,
Astra's
well,
like thrilled.
Operation.
Astra's like thrilled to be
I will
involved.
then translate.
As my compatriots would say, they would probably call this something like Operation Nightfall.
Oh, Operation Nightfall. Yes,
Yeah. You see kind of everyone else kind of Cell kind of also seems to be listening and kind of is also like as she seems to understand it.
In Abyssal Cell. You understand this too?
I do.
We could just fuck with the rest of the party and they'll never know what language we're speaking.
Oh, that would, of course. And she immediately switches to Abyssal and starts talking just like, of course. It's always fun to mess with people.
Perfect. Anytime we talk now,
I'm afraid they're summoning demons. All right.
She'll just start looking at you. Veldren, and her eyes go like very wide, and she starts like moving her hands. And to you, Aridia, she starts like babbling things at you, Veldren, like words that do sound like she's casting some sort of ancient curse. To you, Aridia, it's just she's going, "Hello, Veldren. I'm saying stupid words at you. You don't understand what I'm saying, silly man."
I'm going to look at Cell and go, I do know what casting a spell looks like.
She just kind of just makes
You're making nonsense gestures.
She just makes a face and just like shrugs and goes, "Ah, you're no fun."
Yes, quite. Astra, would you like to go forward?
She'll cast Pass Without Trace on us.
Okay. Who is going and who is staying, if any?
Bishop will like to Veldren. Would you at least like some someone to go with you to watch your back.
Well, that's what I have Astra for.
Yeah.
You're going.
Oh, thank God it's
And if
Bishop.
you'd like to come along,
Yes, I think.
if you'd like to come along as well, then yes. But in my experience, the less on a stealth mission, usually the better. But if you think you can come quietly, that'd be
I'm-
perfectly fine.
More than certain in my skills to be quite sneaky.
Ezra's like,
I'll work to the other
I'm
two.
gonna stay here.
You should probably stay back.
Um, Xidas will kind of nod and be like, a scouting party would be good. I'll remain and protect the others. Astra, are you going?
Mhm.
Be safe.
Good competition, Bishop.
I kind of slightly twitches.
Veldren goes, "Oh, you seem quite close." No, 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 it doesn't happen.
All I'm saying is Xidas has lips. Just saying. Just saying.
Lives a whole level sooner. Remember whenever you said you were going to hold us hostage?
Yeah. This is B's
Holding you
revenge.
hostage.
Yeah.
Sometime, right?
Sure. Yeah. So Veldren, Astra, Bishop, and then Sybil and Aridia. Are you going or no?
I'll stay behind and keep an eye on Sybil.
Okay.
Do you want to know what he's saying?
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Or such a too much then. And neither of us speak Abyssal.
I know. I just have this idea in this mind. It's like, hey, you want me to tell you what they're saying? What? And it's just Aridia leans over and just like whispers in Sybil's ears, and Sybil's eyes just go wide and just go.
I don't explain the really bad ones, just some of it. They get the gist.
It's just like, oh my god, huh? Just like covering their ears, like, no, 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 I don't want to hear it anymore. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, but it's just funny.
So
But yeah,
as the night has fallen, her dress it's no longer that
Mhm.
cream color. It is back to that dark, starry blue, night
Mhm.
blue color.
Slay, very slay.
As they're walking as they're like stealthing towards, Veldren will like whisper, "You have to tell me how that happened. I've seen clothing that does something similar, but nothing with like the time of the day.
Oh, I've had this my whole life.
It's grown with you."
It's complicated.
It would have been something that you had been gifted, for sure. It's something that
Veldren
would have been
has
made
so
for you.
many questions.
It's something that would have been made for you. You okay? So just out of game thing. Astra, you probably, with your background, you probably don't know where it came from. You were just given it one day,
No.
and it's nice, and you
Yeah.
wear it. Out of game, this is not. She was not born with it. All right.
No.
This is.
Veldren doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Veldren knows weird
Yeah.
magic freaking exists. Weird star magic.
Yeah.
I as Jet know where it came from, but
Mm-hmm.
Astra has no idea.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I know what it is, but I don't think Astra does.
Mhm.
It's very interesting.
Okay.
Kind of weave, I guess you could say. Of the,
Make me
I guess
stealth
the
checks,
weave of
everyone.
magic of.
And
Oh
you're
my
casting
God.
Pass Without a Trace, Astra, so everyone add a plus
Yeah.
10.
37.
37.
23.
23.
I rolled a 10.
Right
I rolled an 18 plus 9 plus
Why
10.
is my computer? There it goes. Apologies. That's hello. 33.
So, question I have to ask you all,
Mhm.
and I want you to. I don't want you to read too far into this, but I want you to. But we're just a decision to be made. Because I thought about it and I went, hang on a minute, I want to think about it. So with those very, very high rolls. Would you consider a natural 20 an auto pass? I know D&D rules technically for skill
Technically,
checks,
but
no,
I'll leave that
but
up to the group.
how do we feel about it? Because like
I'm usually of the
what, like
opinion, no,
37?
for
There's
natural 20s
no
on
way
that.
anyone can beat that. Like physically, like do not have the stats
I'm
even with a natural 20 to beat that. But I leave it up to you.
I'm usually of the opinion no, but
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to the group because I
That's fine.
truly don't care either way. So 2 no's.
Who knows? Okay.
Vote, you other 3. I'll
Auto passes?
fly
No,
out to
I
you.
Yes, keep your way out of this. Stop
No?
it.
Okay. Cool. All right.
I like the idea of being able to fail. Well,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
later
yeah,
on,
no.
people can pass perception
Well,
checks. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm okay. So peek behind the curtain here thing. Veldren rolled a 37. The person who is rolling this physically can't beat that. However, I did roll a natural 20 for them. So how do we feel about that? You say that they
I'm
say
good,
say that
whatever
that
you
still
want to
doesn't
call it.
pass?
I'm not going to be
or-
upset. I'm usually of the opinion no, but I'm also not going to be upset.
Yeah, you know what? We'll say it doesn't. We'll say it doesn't. Astra, you rolled a 23 though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so the group of you make your way up, the 3 of you, you kind of maybe kind of stealth into one of the bushes and you look you move closer. There is like a fire now. And this is you start to hear kind of vague sounds of like movement of other people. As there seems to be there was one voice, but there is kind of multiple kind of figures that seem to be moving around. As you kind of get closer, you almost see like shadows from some sort of fire. And you get closer, and let me describe the scene you see. Okay, so you peek into a clearing in these trees. You see a makeshift fire, like campfire that's been set up. You see a wagon that has clearly been taken off the road and is kind of like sat nearby. There seem to be kind of a few kind of boxes and crates kind of inside. A few kind of sacks and stuff kind of put to the side of it as well. You see 5 figures all kind of dressed in like kind of like dark leathers. Some of them are wearing kind of like metal breastplate and such. There's a mixture of men and women, kind of a mix of they're probably humans and half elves, kind of among them, and they're kind of just they're sitting around, and they're just they seem many of them seem annoyed at this sound that is not coming from any of them. Because as you look around, you see them, but then you kind of look past them and you see 2 kind of nearby trees. And there are 2 figures chained to those trees. You see a figure, you see a orange tiefling with long, pointed, kind of curled horns. They have they wear kind of like red kind of cape over their shoulder. They have kind of a lot of like reds and stuff. They have like arm wraps around their arms. They're wearing kind of like a makeshift kind of like breastplate piece of armor that looks to be some orangey red metal of some kind. Seems a little uncommon. She has kind of tattoos kind of on her face, or you're not sure if they're tattoos or if they are kind of just marks. You don't know. And then down one arm, you see that also has some tattoos as well that you can't really see from this distance. And she seems to be the one who is just belting this song in Abyssal. just not a care in the world, just seems to be just going for it, having a whale of a time. You can't tell if she's drunk or not, but she's just going for it. Yeah, just has these kind of pointed tiefling ears, kind of orangey hair, kind of going down her back, kind of tied in like a long braid. And then standing at the other tree, also chained to kind of a tree kind of opposite them, you see a drow man with kind of side shaved head, kind of a so there's hair only kind of down the middle, which has been kind of tied into almost like dreadlocks. He wears a kind of set of chainmail over some kind of blue clothes. His kind of a mop of white hair. And yeah, just has like brown boots. But yeah, he's kind of just standing very quietly. Just seems just to be, yeah, just kind of standing. He has a couple of scar marks kind of across his mouth. But yeah, he kind of just kind of watching everyone. Doesn't seem to be phased by the music, if you can call it that. But yeah, he's kind of just standing there, just checking things out. And yeah, this woman just continues to just sing and sing and sing until one of the figures just finally seems to have had enough and just like is like holding his head and just like stands up, pulls a dagger out of a nearby log, and just goes, "I swear, if you don't stop singing that awful song, I will come over there and I will cut your tongue out." And she stops and kind of laughs and goes, "You gonna come over here and do it yourself? Didn't go very well for the last guy, did it?" And you see kind of nearby, you see there is a guy kind of like propped up, kind of still rubbing his head, a large welt, kind of like on his like forehead, just like it's like seems to be in a lot of pain. It's like, why don't you give it a go? See how that goes for you. I can do this all night. Got a good set of lungs, ID. And he like just starts like approaching one of the other kind of guys, kind of like stops him, is like, "Don't! She's trying to antagonize you. Just ignore her." It's like, it's kind of hard to ignore her when she's screaming like that. We're not that far from the road. And they just seem to just go back, and she's like, "Meh, suit yourselves." And she goes back to just singing this same song again and again. Maybe picks up a different song, but it's just same volume, just loud as she can, just trying to be as obnoxious as possible. As you are kind of standing, taking the scene in, Astra, you kind of are looking at all of this. And as you look at the drow figure, he looks back at you. You make eye contact. He kind of looks at you. Doesn't seem surprised or doesn't seem to react in any way, but he kind of looks at you and you can tell that he has seen you, but he just looks.
She just
Mhm.
that's all she does.
He just
Then she's
gives
gonna
a vague just nod.
she's
And
gonna
seems
turn
to
to
kind of
Bishop.
look away.
What's the range on message?
120 feet, why?
How far are we from the others?
Maybe it's how far would the rest of you have moved up, do you think? To Sybil and Aridia, would you guys have stayed relatively nearby? Just like you can stay a safe distance away. Like I could say you could maybe be like within like 200 feet or so without there being an issue.
Sure.
Kind of like
Yeah.
staying by the road. Yeah, sure.
She's gonna look at Val and it's like, just she's whispering, very, very hushed, right? Do we need backup? Are we? You're muted.
You're muted, Jay.
Muted.
Oh, bestie, I'm so sorry.
Have you been saying anything this whole time? We've not heard you,
So
Your
bestie.
phone and
I'm
Abigail.
so embarrassed. Veldren is also whispering, but Jay is going to speak up for stream.
Yes.
Well, I was going to ask you all, I was going to ask you both, what you think. Obviously, these two being held against their will, do we want to bust them out?
I was about to say I can send either one of them a message.
I could do the same.
Then perhaps we can.
I can also
To
unlock the chains from here.
that is true. Perhaps the two of us could send a message to each of them, one of us for each, and we can at least figure out a plan to make sure they would be non-hostile to us. Try and get some information before we go in guns blazing.
Of course. I'll get out a copper wire.
If you would take the draw, I will take the.
Point it out. Point it out to the drow figure.
I will.
Hello. Are you being held here against your will? Could I just get a quick rundown of what's happened here?
You speak. So you're casting message to him, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And you're looking at him as you do this, right?
Yeah, I would be looking
yeah.
towards him.
He kind of, as soon as you do that, his eyes seem to go wide and he starts kind of looking around. But he seems to recognize, he kind of almost does that thing where he's almost you know when something happens in your mind, you kind of instinctively kind of look up a bit. He kind of does that.
Yeah.
And then you do get a response back. Oh, okay. Hang on, I gotta think about this. So what was it that you said? Sorry. It was just, are you being held here against your will?
Hi. I can see you being held here against your will. Could I just have a quick rundown of what's happened here?
Yes. We are being held against our will here. These bandits from the road got the jump on the two of us, unfortunately, while we were trying to rest. They seem to be posing as crown guards. People seem to have believed them so far.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? He's still
I'm not gonna
looking
answer.
around.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer back just
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
On that. Can I look at the bandits or Crown's Guard? Can I make some kind of check? I'm pretty familiar.
Investigation!
Perfect. Wonderful. For investigation, that would be 18.
18. You look at them and yeah, they're wearing kind of rough leathers and kind of bits of breastplate and stuff, but you do see a Crown's Guard insignia on a cup. There's probably one of them that has kind of a Crown's Guard pin on his armor. It's kind of set into the metal. So you do see that insignia, yes.
Yeah, but are they acting like how Crown's Guard would? I'm trying to get a feel. Are these bandits or are these Crown's Guard?
Okay. That would be more insight then. That would be more insight.
Absolutely. Ooh, that fell off. Cocked.
8. I mean, they seem to be getting annoyed at this woman's song, and I mean, They have a wagon, and so they do seem like it's not a pleasant way to. There's not an easy way to say this, but like they do seem like if they are bandits, they are pretty well off bandits, as bandits don't tend to have full wagons or like they have a lot of things. It seems. They they're not acting very
Natural.
Crown's Guard like, but also at the end of the day, they're kind of not working right now. Like, it's late. They've got a very annoying woman yelling in their ear. There was no one to perform for out here, if that makes sense. So they could be. You don't know.
Veldren care either way.
Well,
Yeah, I know Bishop wanted to as well.
let's say while Veldren is sending a message to the drow person, Bishop's going to take a similar copper wire, hold it up to his mask in the direction of the belting tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
Bonsoir, mon cher. I couldn't help but notice you and your companion seem to be in a bit of a rough sort. You in any need of assistance? What, I don't mean to pry, but how did you come upon this? And you may respond to this message.
As soon as you start talking, she stops belting. She goes silent and it starts like looking around, like confused. A couple of the guards kind of like look at her. It's like, finally lost your tongue? What are you looking at? She's kind of like looking around, like confused. She doesn't respond to your message. What was that?
Cast message again. Cast message again. And if you would not mind, we're not here as enemies right now.
What are you fuckers trying to get in my head?
Oh fuck!
They look at her,
I'll
they're
look
like,
at Bishop. I'll go.
what are you talking about? What are you on about? It's like, you, the fucking weird voice in my head. The fuck are you doing? And I'll find out which one of you's trying to fuck with me. Well, break your legs.
Astra, do you think if she breaks my legs, you can fix them?
Maybe.
Okay, good.
Don't break your legs.
I'm not trying to break my legs.
According to the gentleman over there, it seems that these are bandits disguised as Crown's Guard. However, there is Crown's Guard insignia. I can't fully tell. They could just be acting off duty.
That's true.
But also, it is just the Crown's Guard as well. So,
Fair. If worst comes to worst, I can always, depending on how involved we want to get, I can make myself look like a Crown's Guard, but how invested do...
well, if they're bandits, then that won't work. And just a lone Crown's Guard coming from the woods?
Precisely.
Maybe a bit suspicious.
I mean, could be I don't know, maybe a transfer from neighboring city on his way.
Yes, but what would the goal be?
Traveling to a new, what is the word?
But what would the goal be of disguising yourself and ask just to get more information from them?
Correct.
I mean,
It's a way
possible.
to try and get more information without them getting as suspicious. And if they see someone dressed more like themselves rather than, it will gesture to the three of us, than us.
Yes, but if there are bandits, then they'll probably all jump you at the same time.
Mhm.
I think just a random Crown's Guard showing up would be very suspicious.
Tends not to be protocol for them. They tend to go in groups of several. I mean, depending on the squadron, of course. Some are more specialized than others.
Could be something to talk around. I'm pretty good at that.
They did just threaten to cut out someone's tongue, though, so I'm quite inclined to release the two that are being held.
Yeah, I can just sew it back on.
Maybe in a moment that the rest of them would notice.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The young lady, the tiefling, was not as responsive to messages. How did you fare?
He responded, but I've never been quite good at discerning lies from truth from people. I'm a bit more investigative in my duties. We could also just go let Sybil and Aridia know what's happening as well, and then come back here as group decisions instead of making it for ourselves.
Yes. As much as I don't want to split us up more than we already are, but
I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere, Bishop. We should be fine to go back as a group together.
which that I understand, but having eyes on them just in case like something happens. My thought was one of if you and Astra.
Bishop, if I'm so kind, the last time you were left alone, you almost incinerated a barn.
That's what I'm aware of. I'm not, and to be fair, I will not be going too far. Just getting within range to send a message to Aridia.
Bishop, again, I don't think you tried to get yourself killed the last time either.
Wow. Okay, so really? So you're going to put that on me now? Wow.
Bishop, you were shot in the chest.
Astra's
You're
like
having-
very quiet.
I will say, you
Yeah,
guys are
I-
having, even though you're having these hushed conversations, I would like you to
Yes.
re-roll your stealth.
Understandable.
How long does Pass Without a Trace last?
An hour.
Okay, you still have
It lasts a good minute.
It is an hour, right? Let me double check.
yes,
31.
31.
Five. God. 7 plus 5.
16? Wait. I have another inspiration. I'm trying to use them up.
Oh,
Okay,
32.
32.
And I rolled another 6. So, 22.
22. Okay,
I love Astra so
yeah,
much.
they
we should
still seem fine.
go back. I do think, and I don't think your sister would appreciate you being hurt again, Bishop.
All right.
Just a sister?
Hmm?
You're not allowed to get hurt.
It is your own choice, but the smart thing to do is to go back and regroup.
You're right. All right. I will.
Instead, you're wanting to do something kind, but we can do this smartly with no one has to get hurt.
Yes. No. Thanks to some new guidance, it would probably be best if we all went together. You'll just look at Astra. Yeah. Let's go together. At least close enough where we can send a message. That way we're not kind of like middle ground.
It will take us an additional 30 seconds to go back fully. Because message is 120 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take
Yeah.
18 seconds, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
would be if you were moving at full speed, which means you would not be stealthing.
So
You have to go
30
less.
With half speed.
Yeah.
If we're moving.
Okay,
half
we're
speed-
not going to be around the bush, but you can
Whatever.
move to a distance where you can cast it.
It would still be 3 rounds. No, I mean, I would. Veldren would say we should go back in person so we can have a full face-to-face conversation because it will only take a couple more seconds to walk the additional 120 feet to get to them.
Maybe for you.
No,
Are you
it
going
would
back
take
or
us
not? Make a decision.
30 Yes,
We're
Okay,
going all the
you
way.
start going back.
face in
Jesus
person.
Christ.
It would take us an additional 18
It doesn't
seconds. Is
matter.
it
You
at
go back.
base movement speed?
You go back and
No, I'm saying it for Tom's point
I
of
know,
view.
I
It
know.
takes us 10 seconds.
okay. All right. You start making your way back towards the rest of the group. Yeah, to Sybil and Aridia and to the others. You see the 3 of them come out of the bush, start moving towards you guys.
Oh,
There are 2 people that seem to have been captured, either by Crown's Guard or by bandits. I'm not sure on which.
They typically look very different, Veldren.
I mean, bandits can also don't have a problem stealing a certain set of armor.
True.
They don't typically. Bandits, by definition, don't typically care for laws too much. They did threaten to cut someone's tongue out, however. That leads me to believe, like,
That can still be either of them.
It is true.
it could be true. I'm leaning towards freeing the 2 that have been captured. I just
How
wanted to have a
about the guards
conversation
are?
as a group.
What?
Uh,
okay.
I'll look to Astra and go, well...
Sybil's just got a faraway look in her eye.
Just 1,000 yards there, just
Breaking the law again. Oh.
Astra just like fully grown up, not having to care.
Yeah.
Oof.
Depending on who you are.
Oh.
So
We
are
should-
we interjecting or are we leaving them to their business?
I was voting to interjecting.
I was as well.
I can at least, I'm not even entirely fighting them. I can free them from a distance. I can pick a lock from a distance.
A distraction. While that happens, in case
Distraction.
things go.
Wait till they go to sleep.
Yes.
I
Yes,
could, or if we want to try and trick them, I can mimic the abyssal singing. And then they might think that it would be enough to draw them away.
I mean, separating them
that's
into
possibly true as well, but you'd be putting yourself at risk as well. Don't go.
no.
Why is everyone in this group so self-sacrificial?
You know,
only-
actually,
you guys.
No, it
I
is
respect that
confident,
statement.
completely different.
I retract my statement. I was told I can't get out.
Yes, I would hope we do this in a way that when no one gets hurt.
We can wait for them to sleep.
What if we wait for them to sleep and then Veldren can release them and hopefully they'll be quiet. If it takes too long for them to go to sleep, Astra can cast the spell that makes everything quieter.
Well, it's
And-
currently still up right now as well.
Passive trace, yeah.
Yes, that one. And it could also help those to be quieter themselves.
Yes.
That is a good idea.
Sounds like a sound plan, and all of us be posted just in case it goes wrong.
Yes.
But Veldren, just
Yes.
as a way of talking it out, perhaps it would be a good idea to unlock the drow fellow. And
That was my plan first. He seems a bit more level-headed.
yes, that way he might be able to talk to his companion and let him know what is happening and that we do not mean any harm.
Yes.
It sounds like a solid plan. I will
Right.
say
Team.
What?
before we team, just because we have done very similar things. if they end up taking shifts and watches,
It would still be less to deal with. It would still be less to deal with at the very least, instead of all of them being awake.
it would be less to deal with, but it still leaves us with the situation where we have someone watching. Do any of us have ways of eliminating? It seems like a very
Well,
might
I mean,
incapacitate.
yes.
Incapacitate, we'll say.
I could also. No, wait. It doesn't have concentration on that. I could draw them away with a illusion.
I can also do an illusion if you have to focus on getting the two free.
Mage Hand luckily does not require my concentration, so I could technically keep focus on both.
I mean, I could also make some kind of distraction a ways away. I have a prestidigitation. The cantrip can create a bit of a shower sparks. Would look like something good. Wary checking out.
Yes, we could do a combination of all of these as well.
We just can't make it too concerning or like magic is being cast, or else they will wake the
Yes.
others, and
Mm.
it would be a lot.
I was going to play on the baser instincts. Possibly a damsel in distress in the woods that they want to help. Or
Are you
Yeah.
gonna fucking do get help? I swear to God.
You know, we've actually, we get. Do you remember Get Help?
Oh
Do
no.
I look like a small... I'm not a teenager anymore. I do not
No.
pass for a damsel in distress, Bishop.
No, but hello.
I can throw
Bishop
you in
does.
as a damsel in distress.
I do. I got get out.
Bishop in one of
Undo the
Astra's
braid and
dresses.
just like let the hair go fall down.
Only if you let us put you in one of Astra's dresses.
No, I can take care of a disguise myself.
That is something I would like to see as well.
You're so boring.
You're not getting it for free. Neither are you.
You're so boring.
I lean over to
You get 5 gold
Astra
right here.
and just into Astra's ear, I just say, he used to let me put the bows in his hair when we were little.
All right, gang. What's the plan?
See if they're go watch
For them
them
to fall
sleep.
asleep.
Go watch them sleep,
Wait for them.
and then go from
Wait
there.
for them to fall asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make illusions. Pick a lock from distance.
Okay. Cool.
Plan A.
All right. In that case, you guys kind of hunker down at a distance. I will say the singing does not resume.
Mhm.
Whatever happened. The rest of you heard the singing happening. Heard some yelling. Couldn't quite make out the words. You heard the same voice speaking back, yelling back in common, and then it seemed to go quiet, and has been ever since. And then the others came back, and it's been quiet ever since. But yeah, how long do you wait?
Till most of them fall asleep,
Mhm.
I would imagine.
You
Until they
can't
start
see them from this
swimming into
distance.
watches.
Well, we were gonna get close.
Well, we were gonna stealth
Yeah.
forward with
The
Pass
whole
Without
group?
Trace. Well, the
Yes.
main 5 of us.
Yes,
We'd probably
not the-
leave, like Stell,
Not the
like, leave the
NPCs.
NPCs here.
Okay.
Leave the NPCs behind.
We can't
Sure.
take them everywhere.
There's too many.
There's too
Yeah.
many. We're
Yeah.
about to.
Yeah, there
I
is.
don't know.
Yeah,
Why
there
can't we
is.
get
Seems
some
pretty
PCs, B?
competent.
No.
No.
Yeah, we can have Xidas. We can have Xidas.
Yeah.
Xidas is pretty competent.
We can sacrifice Sal as a distraction.
No. Can we
True.
leave all the NPCs there? It's gonna
Wait,
be
we
too
can
much.
take- we
Yes,
can use
yes,
stealth
yes,
as
yes.
stealth.
That way we don't have to worry about
Please.
anything.
They will find a spot to kind of settle down. And then the 5 of you can stealth forward. I need you all to. So, Astra, you're gonna have to recast Pass Without Trace, because do you cast Pass Without Trace? You guys have to cast it on specific people, correct?
An AoE.
No, it is.
Oh, it's only an
It's a-
AoE. Okay,
aura.
AoE. Yep, you're all good.
Yeah, it's an
Cool.
aura.
It is up
So we would have
for
to
an
stay
hour.
close to Astra.
Okay. Yep.
Like we have to stay within 30 feet.
30
I think.
feet,
Always.
In
yeah.
this case, if you guys are all moving back into the brush to kind of watch and kind of hang out for a bit, I'm going to need stealth checks from all of you with a plus 10.
This is a 20, but it's had like implants.
What?
A dirty
I
20.
love you.
An unnatural
An
20.
unnatural 20.
So a dirty 20, and that's with your plus 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's with the plus 10, yeah.
Okay.
Roll
You
a
have
seven.
more
That's going to
inspiration?
be a 18. That's going to be 28.
28.
I can give you an inspiration. That would be my last one. If you need it.
For me?
No,
Sybil,
Bishop needs
Oh,
inspiration.
no. I'm good. I was asking if
Okay.
Astra
Sybil,
what
had
did you
any
get?
inspirations.
Oh, I got an 18.
18.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Aridia,
27.
27. Okay. Now, Bishop, are you adding your inspiration?
Oh, no, I didn't need to add an inspiration. I was asking if Astra needed to add any
Okay.
inspiration.
Astra,
I got a 31.
31. Okay. Astra, are you sticking with your 30-20, or are you adding more to
Am
it?
I the lowest roll?
No,
No.
you're not.
No.
Sybil is.
Yep. I said that before I knew what Sybil rolled.
Heck, I'll just take my
What?
inspiration.
No.
Okay. I'll hold firm with my 20.
Let's go. Meet to combat. Yeah.
Sybil can be a damsel in distress if needed.
No, we're not playing that.
Astra could
We're not
also.
doing get help yet.
Astra and Sybil pulling the titles again. Just been like,
Or,
hey.
or hear me out, Sybil, Astra, and Bishop playing damsels in distress.
Okay.
Yes.
So those
Astra
are final
would've mentioned-
rolls.
Yeah, Astra would have mentioned to all of y'all that she has not really prepared her spells for combat per se.
Okay. Yep.
You have guiding bolt.
Okay. Okay. So what was the lowest roll was an 18, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hello.
Okay. So, yeah. They all, now that the yelling has stopped, they all seem to settle in. The drow seems to still be kind of looking around, kind of waiting for something to happen. But you wait, and nothing seems to, so he kind of sits down. And as he is a drow, he seems to kind of close his eyes, and you guess he is trancing. The tiefling just straight up just like seems to just slump on the tree and is snoring. She's like really like proper like snoring, like yeah. They do take watches. The five figures, 4 of them go to sleep. Actually, sorry, no, 3 of them will go to sleep. 2 of them stay awake for a watch. You are all sitting in the bush, kind of waiting. And do you do anything during this time when the two? So there's only 2 of them awake currently. So you're not doing anything in this moment.
I would probably look to the group and nod, seeing the rest of them are asleep.
You can speak. You can speak. It's fine.
We're going second watch.
Second
we want
watch,
to wait for the
so it
second
gives them
watch.
some comfortability
Okay.
in the night.
So you wait. An hour goes by, and then Pass Without a Trace goes away.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's true.
Your lowest roll was an 18. Minus 10, that's an 8.
Oh.
Oh,
I forgot.
why do we think of
This
this?
is why I asked you guys. This is why I asked you.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, you wait, and so without your plus 10s, we have 8, 10, 21, And then
18 for me.
18 for Veldren, 17 for Aridia. Okay. So, yeah. Sybil, Astra, you two are kind of almost just like watching, probably maybe like sitting together, like kind of thinking about just, just like watching, just seeing what's happening. And you almost like, it's at that point where like maybe there's a couple of times where you accidentally rustle something and you're like, oh, wait. Oh, we're like being magically hidden. Everything's fine. And you get a little bit lazy. And you're just like, we're sitting here. It's fine. Like, thematically, you're like, oh, okay, we don't need to, like, hide. Magic is hiding us. And then, Sybil, you kind of, like, sit back. Just kind of, just gonna reposition myself, get a bit comfortable. And you move your hand, and several twigs snap under your hand. Astra, you kind of have a moment of like, huh? As you're like, oh fuck, my magic's gone away. Uh-oh. And you also kind of make noise, so the bush just rustles quite a bit. The two guards kind of look up and like, what was that? Is there someone there? Show yourself.
Okay,
The other
I'm
one's
going
like,
to
it might be a wild animal. No, I think. And then with an 8 and a 10, they look in your direction and they make eye contact with you, and they kind of just like look at you. They don't draw weapons, but they put hands on weapons and they kind of look at you.
I'm standing up and walking forward a little so they don't see the rest of the group.
Okay.
Astra will too, and she's just in a pretty dress. I imagine sitting. It's a little dirtied now. Okay, it's a little
Yeah.
dirtied.
It's just happened to us.
That you kind of like walk out. The first one there's like a younger one. There's a older, more like senior looking one. He's the one kind of wearing the insignia. And there's the other one. The younger one kind of almost like goes to like draw his blade. He kind of like places a hand on him and it's like, no, wait. And he kind of looks at you and he goes, ladies, thank you for making your presence known. We didn't see you there. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night all by yourselves?
It's
You got lost.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Deception check. Astra, deception check.
I'm gonna add my inspiration. My last inspiration.
All right.
That's
14.
14.
I have a question,
Okay.
DM.
Yes.
How noticeable is it when I cast Silvery Barbs?
You are casting a spell.
Okay.
So it is noticeable, yeah.
I just want to check for the sake
Yeah.
of this.
No,
I'm not doing it
I get
yet.
it. Yep.
I just have to
The younger guy kind of just looks and is like, I don't know, why would they be out here by themselves? I mean, look at what they're wearing. And he's like, and the other one's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry. We have the situation under control. He kind of gives the two of you a smile. It's like,
Can I insight check that? Can I insight check that right there?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I want to vibe check.
What
what
are you
the heck
looking
that
for?
was. For how badly he's wanting to kill us. 22.
You're wondering if he's going to kill you?
No,
if his intention is to harm you?
I think intention to harm or capture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harm or capture. Okay. What was your roll?
22.
22?
I rolled natural 19.
This younger guy seems to not be there seems to be some sort of protocol here. He is the older senior member's like, no, let's not escalate things. This can be dealt with quietly. And seems to, you kind of look, he kind of gives you a friendly smile, but with a 22. Sybil, you've seen smiles like that before. They are not friendly. They are
This is a crown's guard.
yeah, that's a creepy smile. That is yeah, not good. I was like,
Oh,
well,
I'll also say, just for
apologies. Hang on. Just a lot of things are happening at once. Give me a minute, please. He kind of just like looks to you and goes, well, we're you are lucky that you ran into us. We are members of the Crown's Guard. And he points to the insignia on his chest.
I told you they were members of the Crown's Guard.
I'm glad you ran into us
We're
instead
safe
of
then.
perhaps a group of bandits. There are many bandits that roam these roads. You should be careful traveling alone. But if you need somewhere safe to stay for the night, you may rest at our fire. Kind of like the embers are still there, but it's kind of mostly going on. It's like there is warmth. If you need blankets, we have them. Yeah, it kind of just seems to be offering the two of you to stay. And are you still like hands up?
Yeah.
He kind of like waves his hand. He's like,
Astra
please, there's no need. There's no threat here.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us stay. It's so embarrassing, really. And Sybil's gonna like sit down next to the fire and start like warming her hands.
And he
Astra will follow.
Yeah, the two of you sit down. The two of them sit either side of you. It's a little uncomfy how close they are. And the older one will kind of sit next to you. So I'm like, so, where have you come from?
Oh, we actually just came from Mystral City. Well, not just. It was a long thing, but
It's a few days out from here.
we really wanted to see how far we could make it, and it was a dare. It was a dare with our friends. They said we couldn't become adventurers, and we said, just watch. And it hasn't been going well at all.
That's interesting dare. You did you bring supplies? Are you planning to become adventurers, or
No, not even
been
a
out
little
on the
bit.
road without food for a couple of days? And
It has not been well. She like gestures to her tattered dress.
oh my, Trevor, why don't you get them something to eat, perhaps? Kind of like looks at him, kind of looks back at him, is like, yeah, sure. And he'll kind of go over to the wagon and we'll start kind of rifling through things, trying to find perhaps some rations or something. Like, so, Mystral City. You said your friends dare you to become adventurers and come out here.
Yes, ever since we were kids, we've talked about leaving the city and going and seeing the world, but ships are so expensive, so we will settle for the rest of the area. And they always teased us, saying we couldn't do it, and it was just, we wanted to stick it to the man.
Of course, yes. Always gotta stick it to the man. What are the rest of you doing as these conversations are happening?
So Bishop would have, like, seeing this happen, would have grabbed Veldren's hand and just like put it on like the lapel of his armor and just like made him hold it. And he's just like,
Just underneath my breath. They're good at this. They're good at this. It's okay.
yep. And he's like digging those nail claws into the dirt, just like ready to like pounce. And yeah, Veldren, you could see that like glimmers of the red rage coming to creep in.
What are your
think you're like-
passive perceptions?
My passive perception
It's a 14.
is level 13.
13.
13? Yeah, those of you with 13s, you kind of like look past this and you do see the drow has opened one eye and seems to be watching this scenario. Almost like he's almost like sitting himself up a little bit, almost like he's waiting for something, like he's readying himself for something.
Yeah, Veldren would whisper in like a very comforting kind of voice, is like, it's okay. They've got this. and I'm going to cast message
Mm-hmm.
over to Sybil. What's the plan? If you have one, do you think you can get out of this safely, or do we need to start?
Sybil's gonna keep babbling to these big, strong men who are being so
Mhm.
kind as to allow us
course.
to stay here. And in her head, she's just her voice is so different from what she's being like out loud right now. She's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think we can get out. We can get out. We can get out of it. Just we'll.
Are they going to hurt you if you try to leave? Do you think?
I don't know. I think if we play it dumb enough, there's potential to let us go. I don't like the way they look. They're Crown's Guard, by the way. 100% Crown's Guard. Just focus on getting them out first. And then
All right.
we'll figure things out from there.
I'll
Wait.
then cast
Hold on.
Yes.
Sorry, I just gotta clarify a thing. You're saying they're 100% Crown's God. Have you misread what I have said, or are you intending to say that to Veldren?
I may have misread what you said because you were like, you've seen those
so
kinds of smiles before.
the smile he gave you was not a I recognize who this is. It wasn't that. It was a just if we lash out at them, they'll know that something's up. We don't have to be aggressive to keep them here. It was you can tell that these are not who they say they are. Sorry,
Okay, I thought
no, you're so good. You're so good.
I didn't think they recognized me. I thought it was like, oh, the smile of just a Crown's Guard and the protocol. How it seemed like the other one had like talking about protocol. And stuff.
No. You can tell. They're like, no. We're following our protocol, which is they are smarter bandits, shall we say?
They are.
They are smarter than your average Joe. They are playing the role of Crown's Guard, and you can tell. Just maybe now that you're like closer to them, you can like see small details. The scuffing in the armor that definitely looks like it was perhaps taken from someone. It is not as well maintained as it should be. The scraggly beards definitely are not military cut. These are ruffians. They are not who they say they are.
Then I would change that sentence to 100% bandits.
I'll work on freeing the other two. Maybe they can help us.
I'll keep spouting nonsense.
Yeah, I'll relay information to Aridian Bishop quietly. Cast message over to the drow. I'm going to undo your chains. Be quiet. Don't give anything away. And I will cast Mage Hand, which is, since I'm an arcane trickster, invisible.
Okay. No words are needed.
Give me a second. There are verbal.
Yeah.
There are verbal. Can I whisper them?
Oh,
I'll look.
You would have to make me another stealth check, and you don't have your +10 anymore.
Yeah, I know.
You're good at that, right?
Yeah, I'm real good at that. 24?
24. Yeah, you cast it. Mage Hand.
And hand the Mage Hand my lockpicks, because that's another thing I can do with Mage Hand, is I can lockpick at a distance, float it over through the trees to the locks on the drow, and try to lockpick.
Okay.
Chains.
Make me a lockpick check. That's your sleight of hand.
Natural
right?
20.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. You effortlessly go over there. It's like you're doing it yourself. You see the chain kind of. He understands what you're doing. It like unlocks and he like grabs it, like holds it. It's open. You know that it's open now, but he's holding it, making it look like it's still clasped on him. He can respond to you, correct?
Yeah, he can respond.
I don't know who you are or where you are, but I'm assuming these ladies are with you and are some sort of distraction. Just say the word, and I'll grab my sword.
Absolutely. And the tiefling is asleep, correct?
Pass the fuck out.
So yeah, I think the tiefling's not awake to catch the chains. I don't think I will. And I'll send a message back to Sybil and to Astra. The drow is free whenever you're ready. If we need to pop off at a moment's notice.
What about the tiefling? How do we get out of this without the tiefling?
We might just have to knock the gods unconscious to get her out. I can't do it quietly. The chains would make too much noise.
Okay.
I'll relay that information to also Bishop and Aridia, who are next to me, quietly.
I think Bishop is as quiet as he can be. Just says, "Yes, knocking them out." You can see like his leg is bouncing, like mine is right now.
Okay, there is something okay, alright. Okay. okay,
I know
okay.
what I'm doing. I know what Astra will do when the signal is.
You take
Okay.
one, I take one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. At the same time, can we if we just like are we holding hands or something like as besties?
You
That
guys
we're
are
pretending to
sat
be.
next to each other.
Sure.
Yeah, just holding Astra's hand and just give it like a squeeze of like, all right, here we go.
Okay, what are you doing?
Astra is gonna cast Primal Savagery, which is somatic. And then it's gonna claw the fucking guard beside her with her like black and sharpened nails. That are,
Okay.
like,
And Sybil, what are you doing?
At the same time, I am going to not yeah, I will subtle spell, which means my rune doesn't glow when I do this. I will subtle spell Tasha's Mind Whip on the one next to me. So it's an intelligence save DC 15.
Make your roll. Because you're casting a spell.
Oh! I thought you
Yep.
were talking to Astra.
a 16 to hit.
Oh, we're good. My DC's a 4, I rolled a 5.
Ooh, well, your DC's now a 5. But yeah, it does go off. Okay. Astra, you're sat next to this guy, almost like this moment where he kind of almost leans a little closer to you. And you just go, nope! And you just go to claw at him. What was your thing? What was it?
It was a 16 to hit.
16? He almost seems to see this coming, but for some reason, like almost goes to launch himself back, but you catch him and claw across the face. How much damage is that?
7 points of poison damage.
7 points of poison damage. Sybil. Tasha's Mind Whip.
Intelligence save DC 15.
Okay. Dear. Little smart. 15, you said?
Yeah.
14. Fail.
Okay. 12 points of psychic damage, and the target can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It gets only one of the 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you reach out with that mind whip and just see the captain just reels back in pain, just Astra,
you okay?
you scratch across the other guy's face, cutting a deep gash in his face. He's like, "Ah, what the fuck?" The captain kind of whips around and looks at you, Sybil, and it's like, "And we were gonna offer you kindness, boys. Been scrammed. Kill him." And that is where we are going to leave today's session. Yep. Well, yeah, they were definitely not Crown's Good, but they are some smarter bandits that you have run into out on the road. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I know we've gone a little later here, but thank you. For being here, you wonderful people. I'm going to let everyone go around and introduce themselves and where you can find them, starting with Jay.
No. Hi, hello. My name is Jay. My name is Jay. You can find me over at my socials at SEQUO, also known as Sequo or Sequo or however the hell you want to pronounce it. I'm good either way. You can find me over on Blue Sky as well at voice of Jaca, Jaca, where you can see my name ramblings, and possibly you might see me in some other games. Whether or not they be here or otherwhere or some other places. I'll have information for you at some point.
Okay. Abigail, it's you.
Hi, I'm Abigail the Nerd, and you can find me. I was taking notes. I'm so sorry.
No, you're so good.
And you can find me on all socials, except I'm no longer on the Twitter. But you can find me on all socials under Abigail the Nerd, where I post TTRPG related content, or if it's more of the written text things like Blue Sky, just random stuff. And you can find me over here, and starting February 19th, you can find me over here playing Lunara on New Rollis.
Yeah.
That Wednesday. Very, very excited after 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so very excited for that. There's lots of stuff that I can't talk about yet. So that's all I've got right now.
Passing it over to Hans.
Hi, I'm Hans. You can find me across all social media at HansKate. Right now, you can find me online Wednesdays, alternating between here at Tales of Agius and over on New Age Geeks for Queer and Present Danger. Coming up in February, if you're in the Upper Midwest, I'll be at Con of the North jamming some Cthulhu. Beyond that, Crit Awards theme was announced, so we'll be going with fantasy creatures, so that's fun. Keep an eye out for more updates from that. And then, getting into February, I'll have some charity streams going on, so I'll be posting those on my socials.
Amazing. And then we go down to the wonderful Jet.
Yo, what up? I'm Jet or Pingu. You can find me at cospingu on almost all socials. I'm no longer on that X app. But yeah, that's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Insta, Blue Sky. Did I say?
I love how you instinctively said Twitter anyway.
I know, I'm not on Twitter.
It's an instinctive thing, I know.
As for streams, you can find me exclusively here for Tales of Agius.
Amazing. And then last but certainly not least, Tom.
Hello, everyone. I'm That One Warlock. I make the saddest characters you've ever seen on the internet. Apologies, my leg is bouncing because stress. I need to. You can find me. I'm on all of the social medias, every single one of them, except for Twitter because fuck Musk. But you can find me at That One Warlock in all the other places. And then when it comes to actual plays, you can find me on Tuesday over on Game Murder Girls Twitch channel, where I play Professor Backer Jostrums, the changeling Circle of the Moon druid, who wild shapes exclusively into dinosaurs. And then Wednesdays, you can find me here either playing as the spooky Connor, or no, excuse me, spooky Bishop, or the werewolf Dilf Connor. And yeah, there's stuff in the works that I can't really talk about right now, but there's some stuff coming up.
Lots of fun projects in the works. And then, hey everybody, it's me, B. You can find me at B-D-D on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. Those are the main things right now. I need to start using Blue Sky properly. You can find me here every other Wednesday DMing Tales of Agius. Next week, you can find me here again as I will be returning along with Morgan for a final spin-off episode of New Rollist Founding Steps as some final things are wrapped up for Minerva and Antigone as we then head into the return of the main state New Rollist campaign in February. We are very, very excited. It's going to be very, very fun. Also, fun thing, you can potentially, I'm going to announce this now because we're figuring out the details of stuff, but I should hopefully be there. We shall see, but go check it out anyway, even if I end up not being there. But please go over to twitch.tv/Sherlock Humes, where I may be appearing on there potentially around 7 p.m. I think it's about 7 p.m. UK time, GMT, or around that sort of time, hopefully. We're going to be talking about Empire LARP. We're going to be talking about fun LARP stories that we've had. If you know my LARP character, Senna, I'm planning to dress up as her. Mark is going to be dressing up as their character as well. Morrigan, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have so much fun. We're still figuring out all the full details of that, so I may not show up on that, but go check it out anyway. Because it's going to be a really fun time. It's going to be a really fun stream. Go support Mark. Mark's very wonderful. I will be there. And then, we've got some fun projects coming up in the works that I'm very, very excited to talk about soon. That I have mentioned again. I mentioned this previously, but if you like the stars, as we've had a lot of talk about today, there may be 2 new campaigns coming to the Tales Guild very, very soon. In the next couple of months relating to those sorts of things. You may see some familiar faces. You will see a lot of new faces. Very excited. But I will announce those when they are ready. But for now, that is going to be it from us. We will see you here same time next week for the final episode of Founding Steps. And then the following week after that for a brand new episode of Tales of Agius. It will be episode 9. We're almost at double digits, guys. We're getting there. We're almost there. So exciting. And hey, maybe by the end of next episode, they may make it to Mystral City. We'll see. But until then, stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you all next time. I need to do that hand because that hand's on screen. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.